So the big question is, how are you doing right now during this worldwide lockdown? I mean, we're alive to see this. This is a huge deal. I know you guys get that, but this is unprecedented. This is really the stuff of Illuminati nightmares. This is the kind of stuff that, to a degree, that we've been looking for many years, not wanting to see manifest, but there have been so many warnings about this kind of a thing. And again, we don't know if this is it. Is this going to be the big one? Is this, I see so many people that are predicting. I'm not a predictor myself. I don't like the predicting game because it's situations like this that's happening right now with the virus and other big situations we've seen pop up throughout the years. And I'm talking about what they call the truther community on YouTube. But it's situations like this also turn out to be a really big test of those people, a test of all people who, claim to be seeking the truth, whether they call themselves truthers or not. And it's situations like this that I think really shows us who people really are. Are you in it for the money? Are you in it for the clicks? Are you more concerned about being first than you are about being correct and right? The truth is hard to find with all the stuff that's happening right now. We're working on it, right? We're all looking into it. We're working on it. And I know there's enough signs and symbols surrounding this entire situation to know it's relevant, beyond relevant. This is something to be watching. But who knows what the future will bring with this? Again, I'm not into the predicting game, but I've got a little bit of news tonight covering it, but not much. This is what we do here, right? We don't want to sit here for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long, and just focus on that stuff, on the virus stuff. I mean, it's everywhere. You can find information on it everywhere. So we're going to take a little bit of a break from that tonight. There's a few stories here and there about it, but there's a lot of other stuff. Tonight's really heavy with footage I'm going to be sharing with you. And a lot of it's really cool stuff. And a lot of it's just absolutely bonkers. You'll see what I mean when you see this. So I look forward to sharing all this with you, man. I'm really glad you guys are here. I hope you're doing okay out there. Moderators, thank you so much for being here. PayPal and Patreon supporters, big shout out. Thank you so much. If anybody is interested in doing some prepping, my sponsor for tonight is My Patriot Supply. There's a link underneath the player. They're running a special right now, but they're behind, man. My Patriot Supply and all the other supply companies out there that are providing prepping type supplies are backlogged and they got back orders. And it's going to take probably a month, I believe, just to get the preps from My Patriot Supply at this point. I could be wrong. It could be less time, but I believe it's around a few weeks at least. So it's never too late to start. If you're interested, they have a great special. You can get 2 weeks worth of supplies, worth of food for under $100, and you can get a month supply for under $200. So check it out. Link below if you're interested. And now is definitely the time. If you have a little extra money and you want to have some supplies, I'd look into it. And other than that, let's get started, man. There's a lot of stuff to get into tonight, man. I hope you're got your favorite beverage or favorite whatever, and you're hanging out with someone you care about, or maybe even a pet. Who knows? Chubbs is making the rounds tonight, but the weather's nice here, so I leave the door open the back, and he's usually outside when it's nice. So he may be coming in and out throughout the evening. I'll see if he'll talk to us. We'll try. I gave him some of this hemp to chill him out. I always do that before the show. That's probably why he hadn't been meowing as much or engaging in so much conversation with us lately. But actually, it's a good thing on my end, just because he gets pretty rowdy. Anyway, enough about Chubbs. Guess who's got the you-know-what virus? Greta Thunberg says she has symptoms and is self-isolating. The climate change activist said she came down with the symptoms after returning from a trip, suffering from tiredness, shivers, a sore throat, and a cough with her dad, and had a fever. I don't know, man. Isn't it interesting how many celebrities are coming down with this virus? It just doesn't make sense, really, does it? Think about it. There's a lot of them, a lot of sports stars, celebrities, politicians, a lot of these big names out there coming down with the virus. There's a few stories about that tonight, about it's pretty much bunk. Why are they doing it though, right? Well, I imagine the way I see things, a big part of it is to push the idea of getting vaccinated. They want to get the idea out there that, oh, I've got it too. We've all got it. This is one angle. And ultimately to push the idea out there for, us to allow the system to put their hands on us or put something inside of us because of the virus. Like that's one angle. Two, it could just be as simple as them being narcissistic jerks. They crave the attention. That could be a part of it as well. Maybe it's a mix of things. And there's other theories on it as well. That's some stories on that a little bit later. So I don't know. This kid gives me the creeps. I don't like to. You're not supposed to judge on looks and all this stuff, but even the way she talks. But the kid just gives me the willies. I don't know about you. Anyway, that's about it for that. Just wanted to share that. But isn't it interesting though, right? So many people, big name people, are coming down with the virus. Really? Okay. Why did half of these people go get checked when I'm seeing these stories and they're saying, "Oh, I didn't have symptoms," but you went and got checked anyway? Sure, okay. And now you've got it, whatever. But hey, it gets them a headline. I guess that's another part of it too, right? Let's just jump over here to the middle somewhere and see what we got. Hey, there you go. I told you we had some footage. Flying humanoids. I love the flying humanoid footage. This is from Phoenix, Arizona. It was captured March 23rd, 2020. This is on UFO Mania. The Truth is Out There YouTube channel if you're interested. Check this out. I like these things. These are always really interesting. What do you think it could be? There you go. It's not really an audio so much. You just kind of hear the background. But take a look at this. And it changes shape as he's recording. It is shape shifting. I'll show you that in a second. So look, it looks like it's kind of in a human form, right? Somewhat. Whatever it is. Looks like it has arms. It's thick. It's got legs. Seems to have a head. Here's some more close-up shots. I mean, look at that. Now it looks a little bit thicker on the top. It looks like it has wings or something and a head and more of a thin kind of body with a tail or something. Right? But look, it changes even more in just a little bit. These are the flying humanoids, shapeshifters. Some people may think there's something else, a drone, swamp gas, balloons. It's always balloons for some people. Now here, a little further on, it starts changing again. It gets even more drastic right here. Now look. Now it looks like the legs are further apart. It no longer has that wing-looking setup it had. It looks like it's got arms coming down to the side and a big head. But you clearly see the difference, right? Just in what we've been seeing here in the 2-minute-long recording or so. We see it shape-shifting. That's what I'm always calling these shape-shifters in the sky. But so I tend to go towards, these are entities of some sort, perhaps interdimensional demonic entities, the spirits of the fallen angels, if you will. Maybe it has something to do with some kind of witchcraft taking place. I don't know. Not sure. Or maybe it really is just a bunch of balloons. I don't know about that. Look at that. There's a good picture of it. Good screenshot, close up. Look at that. Looks huge. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think? What do you think it could be? What kind of monsters? Maybe it's something, a cryptozoology type situation, something we don't know. We've never discovered. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing at all. Okay, here we go. This is inside info from truck driver. Expect shutdowns, lockdowns, etc. But let's see what he says.
As a truck driver, we often can find out things before anyone else, especially during an emergency. Why? Because without us, nobody gets anything. It is now being expected that the lockdowns and shutdowns are going to get far, far worse and are going to be enforced, or even travel is going to become very difficult.
Any message has arrived. Attention, A new important message has arrived.
I was just sent this. You can basically see what that says.
It says independent contractors. An email was just sent out to you with documents you should have in case you're questioned as to whether we qualify as an essential business and can continue to operate. We can continue to operate, and we greatly appreciate all you're doing to operate safely and whatever. But it's the signaling the ID. Right? We've heard about the ID. Trump's even mentioned everybody in America having an ID. It looks like they're trying that out. It's back to the papers again, like the brown shirts in Germany, old Germany. Do you have your papers, sir? Oh, sorry, I don't have them on me. You're coming with us. So there's that. Let's see what else he says, if anything.
So what's going on here is, unless you specifically have authorization, it's going to become very hard to even travel. And I was just given documentation along with emergency declaration information, authorizing me and other types of truck drivers to be allowed to travel. So things are going to get worse.
See, I don't know even that, things are going to get, we'll see. I've got my own approach to everything. You guys know that. I don't like being a doomsayer on everything, even though I cover some troubling stuff. And I've done this for a long time. Now, even more than ever, y'all that have been with me for years, we've been seeing this kind of thing. These are the pieces we've been putting together for a long time. It's a really big part of the end game right here, for the beast system, for the Antichrist to be revealed, the crowning of their king, right? Like, this is an element. What part it's going to play, in the near future or in the far future, I'm not really sure, but I know this will be an element, because for the first time in human history, they've been able to lock down the entire planet. That's huge. It's absolutely huge. Right? So we see where this can go. But that being said, I try not to be, a fearmonger about these things, or I don't like to have a defeatist attitude, like, it's over. Guillotines are coming. Going to chop your heads off. It's done. We're finished. I'm done. Yeah, I don't like that. I see a lot of that defeatist attitude. I don't like that either. Or just being fearful. Oh my gosh. I'm scared. Stop being scared, man. I always have to say this, and say I'm not a religious person, but I love Jesus and God, and I believe in the Bible, the Word of God. There's a difference. But with God, with Jesus, there's no fear, man. We are conquerors, guys. We're conquerors. Even the locusts from the pit will not harm us. The locusts that are coming up from the pit, they can't harm us. Those with God's seal. Okay? So we got to get tough, not lose our minds, stay focused, stay in prayer, I believe. Obviously, that helps. But this is a time where God's kids are really going to be needed, even more so than ever. And maybe we do come out of this in a few months, and maybe it turns into something else down the road or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know what kind of roller coaster ride we're in for. All right. We can't tell exactly. But we can be there for people. All right. We can really be there for people now. And they're going to need it. This one's interesting. This was just filmed March 18th. Underground Nation. It's a YouTube channel. And this is him and I believe his wife on the highway. Here's something I haven't seen in a long time. Do you guys remember those old school videos on YouTube? Hard to find now. Those old school videos from like 10 years ago, maybe even longer, that had all those the footage of the FEMA coffins stacked, huge stacks of these coffins. And there are a few different sites where you could find those. And I remember there was a few of those videos out there, and I know they went viral because all of us have seen them for the most part. Most of us have seen those with all the FEMA coffins, right? Well, I haven't seen anything like that in a long time until now. Check this out.
We need to get this truck. He's going to come up right now.
Put on the recording.
It's recording right now. It's recording right now.
Oh, you got to let me know that. You can't just start recording, man.
It's okay.
All right, so I'm trying to slow down to this truck. we came up by it, and I was like, "Are those FEMA coffins?" And my wife just saw, look right there. They are FEMA coffins, burial vaults. They're burial vaults. Wow, burial vaults. Get a look at the FEMA coffins. Look.
Look at them. They're right there. That's it.
I don't know where they're shipping them, but look, just so you know, we're not playing no games.
We are
Look
not
at the
playing
side of the
games.
truck. Look at the side of the truck. It says burial vaults. No games. Look at that. They're from Indiana. All right, I'll take it back off. Hey.
We just saw it.
It ain't no joke. Shalom, man.
What do you think about that? Let's see here. Let's go back and see if we can see them again. There we go. Yeah, it's those inserts, I guess. But it's what they look like. The famous footage of all the FEMA coffins, right, stacked. We've seen look like that. But there were tons and tons of them. So I'd be curious to see if more people don't start putting videos up of this kind of stuff. I wonder if we'll start seeing more footage of trucks driving around with all these quote FEMA coffins on the back. If you guys are out, you ever see anything, get your phone on you and you can stay safe and do it, or someone's with you and can record it, try to record some of this. If you catch any of it, I think it'd be interesting to see if we start getting a lot of that. Who knows? It'll be interesting. Or maybe it's something completely innocuous and these people are freaking out. Perhaps. I don't know. Another UFO, another shapeshifter too. And this one's a different kind of shapeshifter. It's always interesting to see these things, and then my mind just wanders. Like, what do they do when they're not putting on a show? Are these the same entities that attach themselves to people or get inside people? I don't know. But I know they're really, really wild. Look at this. Oh, yeah, this one, I don't know. Even this look, it looks like there's a propulsion system. So now I think back, maybe this isn't an entity, if that's a propulsion, of course, but maybe it's some kind of crazy technology that can shapeshift, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe it's not a propulsion. I'm not sure what that is, but just thinking out loud, we're dealing with a really strange topic here and a subject. See, this person even said, are those jets? Now look at the kind of shape it's in now, and then shortly you're going to see it completely switch around again. It's kind of doing it right now. It's kind of breaking apart there, right? Look at that. Now it's changing color. It looks like it's going black. And there we go. Now look. I mean, what do you think this could be? Could be some strange technology that most of us common folk aren't aware of. A ship of some sort? I don't know, but I think it's pretty interesting. That's on this YouTube channel. I can't pronounce the name, but if you're interested, you can go check them out. Okay, yeah, check out what this guy's got to say. It's pretty interesting, and I think a lot of people can probably relate to this young man. This is a few minutes long, but I think it's worthwhile. Check it out.
Cuomo, New York governor, biggest challenge could be overwhelmed healthcare system. They have officially shut down New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, and say that you can't go nowhere where there's more than 50 individuals in any type of establishment. Is there a coronavirus? My honest opinion, no. It may possibly be. I don't know. However, what's quite flabbergasting to me, and I'm down here in Miami trying to enjoy myself, but what's flabbergasting to me is how in the entire fall are you guys going to sit here and say something that is not even more severe than the flu that everyone experienced once in life, the flu. How can you sit here and possibly shut down the whole entire world? I told you niggas, they are trying to enforce martial law. They're going to quarantine everybody in every city, every state that they're trying to make you stay in your home and put fear in you niggas. Martial law. What they're trying to do, and this is my opinion, these things may not happen, but this is my opinion. What they're going to do, they're going to come out with a vaccine that they're trying to make everybody take. And what's in that vaccine, I don't know. But what my gut feeling is telling me, what the book of Revelations and the Bible was speaking about, the mark of the beast. They're going to put some type of chip inside of this vaccine, and they're going to try to put it inside of you. It's quite amazing to me that over 1,000 CEOs, billionaires from companies have resigned from their companies. Microsoft, Bill Gates resigned from Microsoft 2 days ago. The CEO of UPS, she's resigned from UPS 2 days ago. Walmart take $40 billion of their own money and transfer it from their stocks, not stocks, they transferred it to their personal trust funds. Why? Why did the CEO of Disney, Walt Disney, step down last week? Why did the CEO of MasterCard step down a few weeks ago? Why did the CEO of Uber step down? Why did the CEO of Wells Fargo, Disney, and etc. Why are these CEOs stepping down from their motherfucking company? You want to know why? Because the government is trying to make this whole economy crash. They've already said we in a Great Depression right now. But it's quite amazing to me how all these CEOs stepped down because they already knew what was going to happen. They're trying to collapse the economy, man, where all of the grocery stores are running out of food. And they're going to start pulling up to you niggas' homes and giving you what they want you to eat. And you don't know what the fuck is in their food. Why all of these fucking schools got all of these kids out of school right now? It's like they don't care nothing about none of this shit. All this shit has been propaganda. All of this shit has been designed and programmed from the masses. This is the new world order that they have been speaking about for such a long time. And you niggas y'all niggas are so sleeping, it's amazing to me. But the people who know me personally know that I've been speaking about this for a long time. And been speaking about it a lot recently. And it's going into play, man. If you niggas do not have a good relationship with the Most High, Yahweh Shah, which is God and Jesus Christ, I don't know what to tell you niggas. Everything that is in that Bible that is prophesied has came in existence and is coming right now. We're living in the book of Revelations, whether y'all want to accept it or not. One thing y'all cannot debate me about is that everything in that Bible has came in existence, man. This right here, professionals in the United States, this shit is propaganda, man. You niggas don't understand this is propaganda. They're trying to scare you niggas, and they're gonna quarantine every single one of you niggas and make you niggas stay at home and martial law you. And if you step out of line, they're gonna kill your motherfucking ass. Now the thing about me, I die for something instead of staying for nothing. Fuck the government, fuck the New World Order, fuck the Illuminati, whatever you want to call these niggas, the Bilderbergs or whatever. Fuck them all, man. I die for something. I die for my motherfucking life, man. Because I know where I'm going. The Most High got me, man. And I'm going to leave it at that, man. Y'all share this motherfucking video. Because they got me blocked on Facebook for going live. Y'all share this video, man.
Wow. How about that, huh? I like the passion. Some people may fuss over language. Man, I don't get this. I mean, I did try to watch my language too. Don't get me wrong. In my real life, sometimes I slip. But I'm also ex-enlisted. I was in the military for 8 years. It's not a good excuse. My language is actually really clean comparatively to a lot of the people I knew from the military, but it happens. But some people will see that and get all snowflaked out and not listen to anything else. Oh, he said bad words. I'm tuning the rest out. No, this guy right here's got some passion, man, and you can feel it. And I know a lot of us see exactly what he's seeing and feel what he's feeling, so thought I'd share. Hope you liked it. Okay, this is just, I have to keep, the language is really, really bad on this one here, and it's nothing but nonstop. He's just screaming words, so I'm not going to play the audio on this, but I am going to just play the footage. This is in New York City, and some guys on the side of the road really freaking out in New York City about this, about seeing all these armored or military vehicles, because they're not used to seeing that out there, of course. That's all. The short one. Man, there's a lot of stuff this week I found on Rita Wilson and, of course, Tom Hanks. And it's all kind of connected to the virus, but it's connected to something else. I'm finding, it's almost like I'm finding two competing narratives that are at place right now with what's happening in the world. And on one side, we have that this is ultimately leading to the Antichrist. That's going to be the crowning of their king. We've got an idea of how it's going to get there, but we're not really sure. But we think that's the trajectory from here is ultimately to the full-on beast system, Antichrist revealed, etc. Okay, but the other narrative at play is that Trump really is fighting behind the scenes against the Illuminati or the deep state. There's other white hats or patriots that are working behind the scenes with him. This connects to this thing called the Q movement. You've heard of this. I was never into the Q. I never, I looked into some of the stuff in the beginning. It just never resonated with me. It wasn't something I could really connect with. I've seen some interesting things come out about it, and I've seen some stuff come out that I think is kind of whack. I don't know, man. It's one of those subjects. Plus, even if it does turn out to be true and real, I mean, for years, from what I understand, Q's been saying that, you're going to be seeing Hillary Rodham Clinton locked up and all these other people, on the left locked up. And of course, it hadn't happened yet, right? It's been years now. And from what I understand, Q's been saying it was going to happen for many years, and we still haven't seen it. Don't get mad at me, Q people. I'm kind of new at the Q thing. I'm just saying, I'm dipping my toe into it, but I'm still very, very sketched out by any big organization, anonymous, that's giving us information that really impacts our lives. You know what I mean? Like Anonymous, was never a fan of Anonymous either, but I know it's a bit of a different thing, or so they say, but I have seen some really interesting things come out around the Q thing where I could see it add some credibility to it. So that's where it gets even more dangerous to me. It's nice when you can see something and spot it being BS from a mile away and just pay it no attention. But it's when there's some truth, like, oh, okay, but how much truth is in there? Are they giving me just enough truth to hang me? Ultimately, I'm not sure. But anyway, some of you out there in the Q stuff, if you know about this, I'm going to do another live show in a couple of days, by the way. It's just going to be another live show where I hang out with you guys. I'm going to put the link to the chat in the box, and come on in. And I'm going to do it at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. my time. And that's mainly because I've been promising my friends overseas we do an earlier show soon, because 7 p.m. for them is like 1 or 2 in the morning for some of these people, some of them later, and it's just a bad time for a lot of people overseas. So I figured 2 in the afternoon my time gives you guys a chance. A lot of you might be home now because of the lockdown as well. So I hope you can join me, and I hope you'll jump in the show. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but it's just going to be a hangout where we can kind of talk about how you're doing in the lockdown and what your thoughts are, And anyway, if any of you know about this Q stuff, maybe you're really into it, you want to talk to us about it, I hope you'll show up for the live show in a few days. Okay. So anyway, this one right here, there's, like I said, there's a few things I'll show you on Rita Wilson. This one right here is, she's quarantined. She's Tom Hanks' wife. There's a Q theory that they're actually being arrested for being satanic pedophiles. All right. Now, this goes into the Q stuff. That seems to be a thread that a lot of people believe they've been arrested for, being a satanic pedophile and all the other sick Hollywood type stuff. Okay, this is actually an idea out there. And the last few days, Rita Wilson's been putting up some videos that are very interesting. There's another one I'm going to show you after this. But anyway, I'll play a little bit here, but she's singing Naughty by Nature. She's singing Hip Hop Hooray. I think that's the song. But look at what she's reading here in the beginning. I thought this was interesting. I'm not really going to play the video. I'll probably get a strike for the music, so I'm not going to do that. You can go watch this. You can just look up Rita Wilson IG if you're interested and go to her Instagram. But look at her right here in the beginning. She's reading Ender's Game. I can't help but notice our as above, so below here, our seal of Saturn and seal of Satan, Star of David, some people call it, but right here on the cover. And she's reading Ender's Game. End Game comes to mind. There's a YouTuber I follow named Kajani Amari. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him or not. Really interesting young man, and he has a really interesting vision I connect with. I think he and I have a similar kind of thing where we pick apart some of the same things. We see things more spiritually, if you will. No, not New Age spiritually. I mean more like the messages we can see through the Holy Spirit. Like they had a story come out this past week, I believe it was. I'm putting this in a video, adding it to some other things. But I think it was after the quake in Utah. There was a Bank Zion, I know it was out there. I think it was on top of Bank Zion or near Bank Zion. There was a statue of a little angel, I believe, holding a trumpet or something. And after the earthquake, the trumpet fell from the angel or the whatever the thing is, hands. That's what I say when we're seeing things more in the spiritual. I believe that's a spiritual message to us. You see, you guys know this. Some people don't. But that's why I'm just throwing it out there just in case. Anyway, Endgame, Star of David. Don't know if it means much. Don't even know if it's connected. But Kajani Amari recently did a video, and he put this part in there and added a bunch of other stuff. But he believes it's kind of signaling something to do with Obama becoming the Antichrist, like stepping up in the world stage again. And a lot of people see this in Obama. I think it's clear he has an Antichrist spirit. Many people have wondered, will he be the ultimate end, in the flesh Antichrist? So Kajani kind of threw this out there again, put the idea out there that perhaps that's what's going on. Maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. I thought I'd share, but let me see if I can show you this other thing I was going to show you connected to Rita Wilson. Here it is, and exactly what I'm talking about. This is from Rita Wilson's Instagram. Who do you think that is with her right there without looking over to the right side? Who do you think that is? Which celebrity is that? You figured it out yet? Look over here to the right, man. A couple of these people nailed it. This one right here says, this girl says, Big Mike. There's Michael Robinson right there. That's Michelle Obama. But how about that picture, though, right? See, it's from Rita Wilson. Happy birthday, Michelle Obama. I mean, that looks like, look at that face of a man. It's got a doo-doo emoji and a clown emoji and a barfing emoji. Ugh. Oh, dear God, is that Michael Obama? See, the people know, man. It can't be, and these are the little ways we see how much the awakening has taken place. It always gives me hope. People know, they see it. There's more people awake and aware to things than we probably give them credit for. But right? Michelle Obama, really? That's one of the most Michael-ish pictures I've ever seen of him. Even just look at the structure, the build. That's a husky, muscular, strong build there. Anyway, just throwing it out there. All right, just sharing, guys. There's the Greta story. We already saw that. Let's go back here to the middle again, see what we can find. What's this? Virus rebels from France to Florida flout lockdown practices. Young German adults hold corona parties and cough toward older people. A Spanish man leashes a goat to go for a walk to skirt confinement orders. From France to Florida to Australia, kite surfers, college students, and others crowd the beaches. Their defiance of lockdown mandates and scientific advice to fight the coronavirus pandemic has prompted crackdowns by authorities on people trying to escape cabin fever brought on by virus restrictions. In some cases, the virus rebels resist, threatening police as officials express outrage over public gatherings that could spread the virus. Some consider they're little heroes when they break the rules, said French Interior Minister Christophe Castaner. Well, no, you're an imbecile, and especially a threat to yourself. After days of noncompliance by people refusing to stay home and venture out only for essential tasks, France on Friday sent security forces into train stations to prevent people from traveling to their vacation homes, potentially carrying the virus to the countryside or beaches where medical facilities are less robust. The popular Paris walkway along the Seine River was closed, and a nightly curfew was imposed in the French Mediterranean city of Nice by Mayor Christian Estrosi, who was infected with the virus. Florida's governor closed all of the state's beaches after images of rowdy spring break college crowds appeared on TV for days amid the rising global death toll, which surpassed 13,000 on Sunday. Australia closed Sydney's famous Bondi Beach after police were outraged at pictures of the crowds. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said Saturday that people from 18 to 49 account for more than half of the state's coronavirus cases, warning them, "You're not supermen and you're not superwoman." Many people were not complying with social distancing recommendations to stay away from each other in New York City's vast city park network ahead of a ban on congregating in groups that goes into effect Sunday night, Cuomo said. You could wind up hurting someone who you love or hurting someone wholly inadvertently. Social distancing works, and you need social distancing everywhere, Cuomo warned. I'll stop there. Cuomo's no hero. This is one of the guys, I told you guys a few weeks ago, I'm not one to predict stuff, but I did say keep an eye on the extremely liberal cities in America, because they're going to be the worst, because they want the most control. So we're going to see these people pushing, I'm sure, more martial law, heavier restrictions. This a couple weeks ago, and here it is. There's a few stories tonight about it. But New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, you'll see. I've got some stories to show you. And you'll see how bad they're getting about this. But Cuomo is certainly no hero. He's a bad, bad man. Another one of these guys that wants, they say liberal. I hate that. It's not even a liberal anymore. It's not a leftist here in America. It's communist, it's Marxist, it's Luciferian. That's where it's heading. Even all that stuff starting to fall away. It's like we really are at that point that Albert Pike said that for the Third World War, that before it all hits, they'd release the nihilists and the atheists on the Christians, and they would let them wipe each other out, and then they believed the nihilists and atheists would win, and after that they would kill them off, because nobody's allowed in a Luciferian one world system without worship. Everyone's going to have to bend a knee to the Antichrist. Oh, it's Cardi B. Cardi B thinks celebrities are being paid to say they have the virus. The outspoken rapper went on IG Live on Saturday night, where she shared her own conspiracy theory about the COVID-19 outbreak. I think there's a video. Let me see. Here it is. Let's watch this. Watch a little bit.
You have it. But then I've been seeing these basketball players say, like, yeah, I have the coronavirus, but I don't got no symptoms. And it's like, so how the fuck am I supposed to know when I'm supposed to, like, get tested for it? Y'all niggas is playing. Y'all niggas is playing with me. Y'all niggas is playing with me. Y'all niggas is playing with me. That's my problem right there.
Another, of course, Illuminati tool has the checkerboard on the hat, right? What other reason would we have the checkerboard on the hat? It's not because it's a finish line, okay? I doubt Cardi B's into redneck, racing. Another Freemason Illuminati puppet here.
That's my problem right there. Because y'all not really saying what it is. And it's like, all right, so tell me what it is and what it ain't. I'm starting to feel like y'all niggas is paying niggas to say that they got it. And if y'all are paying niggas to say that they got it, pay me too.
Okay. Anyway, this is one of the most popular singers in America. If that doesn't show you where we're at, it's unbelievable. It's one of the most popular personalities in music. Has been for a few years. Somebody sent me something the other day. It was a music video from a new up-and-coming, I guess, singer. And it was her, of course, scantily clad, her boobs being pushed out and everything. And she's just making meow sounds for almost all of the song. Do you know what this is, the song? She's making like meow song, like meow, meow, and just stuff like that. It's really is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. But it had, millions of views, of course. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. This is most likely, if they have their way, this will be the next most popular thing, because they'll push it, right? It'll be pushed and promoted on purpose, forced upon us. That's how you get these rando Illuminati sellout type puppet people that show up out of nowhere. It's like, who's this person? Why am I seeing them everywhere? And Why are they on every show and every there's every YouTube every other YouTube video has this connected to their new video or whatever it is. It's just you see these people pop up out of nowhere. Lizzo kind of comes to mind. I think her name is Lizzo. She's the girl with the big butt. She's a singer. I mean, she was on some awards show, I think, this year, but she made national headlines, probably worldwide headlines, for going to some basketball game wearing a thong. And the girl's obese. She's like 250, maybe 3, and bouncing that butt, hardly anything hiding that crack in front of all these families and kids and television cameras. And I think that's when I first heard about this person. Like, who is this? I started looking it up. Like, oh, they've won awards. They have music videos. Where'd they come from? It's just another example. Israel's health minister is certain the Messiah will appear by Passover. And remember, you know this already, the Jewish Messiah is our Antichrist. We're not looking for the same person. Israel's health minister has raised a lot of eyebrows recently as he assured many that the, quote, Messiah will arrive before Passover this year. In the interview with Shamal News on Thursday, Israel's health minister Yaakov Litzman was asked what he's doing to stop the growing virus pandemic in Israel. He responded by reminding the Israeli people to wash their hands and to ensure social distancing and not to congregate in places with more than 10 people. The minister stressed that if people don't comply with these orders, it will be problematic in the future. He also added that God is watching over us all. Bin stated that as the head of an ultra-Orthodox party, references to God are to be expected. But when asked about the chances of Israel continuing to be under complete shutdown until the Passover holiday, Litzman offered a rather unconventional response, saying, God forbid, we are praying and hoping that Moshiach Messiah will arrive before Passover, as it's a time of our redemption. I am sure that the Messiah will come by Passover and save us the same way God saved us during the Exodus and we were freed. The Moshiach will come and save us all. Passover will fall on the Hebrew calendar between April 8th and April 16th. So is this the time that we're going to see Maitreya? Maitreya is a possibility. I've covered Maitreya throughout the years. You may be new to this channel, new to this kind of work. If you don't know about Maitreya, look up Maitreya. I even added some info on him on a recent video. Maitreya. So maybe this will be the time of the Maitreya, perhaps. We'll see. The Jester Jesus. The Federal Reserve is looking into developing a digital currency in the U.S. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. The Federal Reserve with a digital currency? We see where this could lead. Here, let's watch this. Bit of a news clip.
And as the U.S. continues to see rising number of coronavirus cases, public anxiety also escalating. That includes concerns about using cash. Many worry it could actually be a source of transmission. Though many transactions are now contactless or digital, are we ready to go fully cashless? To discuss, we're joined by Jim McKelvey. He's co-founder of payments firm Square and author of The Innovation Stack. Jim, the effect of this coronavirus on mobile payments, is that a good thing? I know it's hard to say that it's good in a time of crisis, but
well, I mean, for mobile payments versus cash, it's certainly good because people are afraid to touch gas, and probably for good reason, because the CDC has not yet determined that cash is not a way of contracting the coronavirus. They've actually traced cash to other infections, and people are scared, so they want plastic or, better yet, contactless payment.
what do you do when people, though,
I'm not going to play too much of that because I'm not sure if Bloomberg's the type to strike or not. But I did want to throw this out for you. And these are always fun to do when you guys are watching live. Or even if you watch after it's uploaded, you can look this up. But I like to throw little nuggets out there. Maybe you guys can find something on this. I'm almost positive that earlier today I saw a news story just in passing as I was going through. I was working on a video and I was looking at some stuff. And I swear I saw a headline that in China, and look this up if you're interested, in China, they're actually burning cash now. All right, look that up. Is China actually burning cash because of the virus? I mean, I'm not trying to be the fake news guy here. I swear I saw a headline. I don't know if it led to a real story or if it was some BS, but is that happening? If you guys want to look that up, somebody maybe share it in the chat while we're moving on here. Are people in China literally burning cash right now? Is that a thing to get rid of the virus or whatever? Is that a thing? I'm not sure, but I thought I saw that earlier. Trump wants the country opened up by Esther. What do you guys think about that? Opened up by Ishtar. I know that's not what he's coding here. I'm just throwing that out there. We know what Easter is. Trump wants a country opened up by Easter. That's it. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Are we going to be opened by Easter? President Trump said Tuesday he wants the nation opened up and just raring to go by Easter, a date just more than 2 weeks away that few health experts believe will be sufficient in containing the spread of the virus. Speaking during a Fox News town hall, Trump reiterated he was eager to see the nation return to normal. Even his doctors warned the nation will see a massive spike in cases if Americans return to crowded workplaces or events. I give it 2 weeks, Trump said earlier in the town hall, suggesting he was ready to phase out his 15-day self-isolating guidelines when they expire. I guess by Monday or Tuesday, it's about 2 weeks. We'll assess it at that time and give it more time if we need a little more time. We have to open up this country. Despite announcing the new guidelines under the banner, the president's virus guidelines for America, Trump seemed to distance himself from the practices during the town hall. Somehow the word got out that this is the thing we were supposed to be doing, he said, noting the country had never done a thing like this before. But we had to do it. It's been very painful for our country and very destabilizing, he said. As his advisors prepare options for returning the country to work, Trump suggested that Americans would still be able to exercise good health practices while still returning to normal. So we'll see. Open by Easter. And that's there's also two massive competing narratives as well. I always see people saying Trump's one of them. This is all a show and this is all meant to be. And Trump's really, and then there's the other side where Trump really is still fighting. He really is, who people think he is in that way, the way he's been presented, that, he is really trying to fight for the Americans. He cares about the people. He's, the JFK of our generation. There's two competing narratives there, and boy, did those clash. I see them clash all the time in comment sections. But, what do you think about that, though, really? And this isn't, it's not an invitation to fight. Of course, we don't fight around here. But, be open to people's suggestions and ideas. And, what do you guys think about it, man? Are you with this? Is he, or, hey, I proposed this to a friend recently, just throwing it out there. And this is what we do. We consider all the possibilities, okay? We're told in the Bible the Antichrist has 7 years, 7-year reign, right? And the first 3.5 years is supposed to be really good and productive and awesome. And then all of a sudden there's a switch and then it goes bad. I mean, this is the basic kindergarten version, okay? But if you think about it, Trump is only about a month away from his first 3.5 years. And we're in the middle of all this stuff right now. So some arguments could be made that, perhaps he turns out to be the man setting himself up in the temple, if you will, in Israel. And perhaps he turns out to be the son of perdition, the man of sin. There's still the Obama angle out there. There's also, as mentioned, there's the Maitreya. There's the alien angle, or the alien savior angle. I'm working on a couple videos about that. Wow, did I find some cool footage out of New York recently. I'm going to show you some cool stuff, man. I think it's cool. It's interesting. I know that it comes from a negative force, a lot of this, but it's still just cool to see the Bible being real in that respect to me. That's the way I see this stuff. It's like, wow, man. I mean, those things are real. They're active, and we're in that time. I still, in a childlike way, sometimes have to kind of shake my head and look around and be like, wow, even though I've been in this for so long and I'm aware and I know what's coming. I've been showing you guys for years. I've been waiting on all this, but still I have to stop sometimes, be like, wow, it's just so crazy to see these things happening and manifesting the way they do. And it's also very exciting. It's very exciting, enjoy the show. I say, enjoy the show. Don't be freaking out. Don't be scared. Enjoy the show. A show it is, huh? San Francisco warns of coronavirus surge. The worst is yet to come. Residents filling to the deserts and mountains. San Francisco is definitely one to watch. It was already turning into a toilet bowl before all this stuff hit. And literally, it was turning into a toilet bowl. I showed you guys the videos, okay? A city in total ruin. Disgusting what was happening out there. And the taxes and the expense. I have a friend who's an artist out there, and they're very good and they do okay. Lucky for them. But It's not an easy place to live, needless to say, for most people. San Francisco officials are warning that a surge in a coronavirus is expected to come within a week or two, and the worst is yet to come. San Francisco Director of Health, Dr. Grant Colfax, said at a news conference Monday, every community where the virus has taken hold has seen a surge in the number of virus patients who need to be hospitalized. We expected that to happen in San Francisco soon, in a week or two, or perhaps even less. MSN is reporting that the number of virus cases continues to climb exponentially in California, with more than 1,700 cases and 27 deaths by Monday afternoon. Just 3 weeks ago, there were only 43 cases and no deaths. I mean, it's hard for me to even read the statistics of this stuff sometimes because I just don't even know how honest they're being half the time, right? And it's not because I have some forced narrative in my mind that I want to see worked out. It's nothing like that. I just want to know what the truth is. But it's really hard to tell sometimes. But I do know that especially San Francisco, Cisco, and people like Pelosi and the crazy Marxist Luciferian type people in the government that are in control out there, you're going to see these things fall apart. It's going to happen. They can't produce good fruits. So we're going to watch what happens in those cities here in America. And I hope that we'll see. I hope for good. I don't know what good can come. Will Trump be a warrior? Will he fight these people? Will we see some real justice? Will we see some of these horrible people from our government, these players we've had to deal with for so many years? How beautiful would it be to see some of these people in chains and have to pay the price? How wonderful would it be to see Hollywood pedophile Satanists all get exposed? I mean, why not? Destroy it all. Bring it all out, right? We want it out. It'd be a wonderful thing. So I hope for good news. I hope for positive things. I'm not just going to hang up my hat and say, it's over, guys. It's done. We're finished. Yeah, they're locking us down. It's done. It's good. No, they're not going to open it up anytime soon. We're finished. It's over. You know, don't have that attitude. Don't be a defeatist. Even if it is over, all right, it's not going to help to have that kind of an attitude. Here's a good one, too. Check this guy out. Watch this. He's a preacher man, I believe.
The vaccine is the disease, okay? So to push this, they pushed it through the media. And if you notice, 24 celebrities have gotten the virus. Say they came forth and they have the virus. They don't have the virus, okay? They're doing this to push you to go out and get tested so you will get the vaccine. So they're using the celebrities to get the public to be aware and to begin the process. So they're using the media to set you up, okay? Tom Hanks does not have the coronavirus. Shaquille O'Neal does not have the coronavirus, okay? But the media, which is owned by the Illuminati, is using this to make sure that you go out and get tested and then to make sure that you get the vaccine. Because when you get the vaccine, you will die, okay? Because the virus is in the vaccine.
How about that, huh? The virus is in the vaccine. Oh, it's okay. This one's it's a good one too. This predictive programming type.
Now beat this. This the doctor.
This is the same guy in both. It's just very ironic, if you will, how this worked out. But look at this. I'll let this guy explain.
Now beat this. This the doctor who's been consistently reporting on CNN about the coronavirus.
Pass away from the coronavirus. Everything we are doing right now is to help.
Now check this shit out. Now look, this Lawrence Fishburne in the movie Contagion. Listen to what Blood say.
But right now, our best defense has been social distancing. No handshaking, staying home when you're sick, washing your hands frequently.
And look who Blood talking to.
Date.
Ain't that the nigga from CNN? Or am I tripping?
We're still working on confirming that number.
The CDC, this is Blood from CNN. In the movie Contagion. Come on now. I mean, I ain't no conspiracy theory motherfucker, but this is a hell of a coincidence. And he telling us to do what we got to do right now in real life in the movie.
Is that in order to become sick, you have to first come in contact with a sick person or something that they touched. In order to get scared, all you have to do is come in contact with a rumor or the television or the internet. I think.
How's that? That's kind of a trip, isn't it? And it is the same guy. And there were people in the comments, yeah, but that's normal. They'll do that. They'll bring real people in. Da, da, da. And it's not even about that, man. It's about the fact that this guy is on the news right now as a doctor, as a CNN that keeps using him as an authority on what we're supposed to do right now. Yet he was in the movie Contagion several years ago talking about the exact same stuff. I mean, come on, man, right? Hello. Interesting, eh? Ad blocker. Okay, here we go. And a refresh. Oh, yeah, this one's really crazy. Madonna deems virus as the great equalizer as she shares bizarre video of herself in bathtub discussing what's happening. Let's see. Here it is. We know that Madonna is, if anybody is a witch in Hollywood that knows what's coming and knows what it's all about, it's Madonna. And I've covered her in a few videos myself. Just did a video not long ago about what Eurovision 2019 secretly told us. It's on my channel. Just look up Eurovision on the channel if you want to find it. And I think it'll blow your mind. Not trying to toot my own horn here, but beep, beep. It was a good video, I believe. There was tons of programming all throughout Eurovision 2019. I decoded everything from beginning to end. But the end part was very powerful. What Madonna, the part she played, she was really showing the real rise of the beast system. It has to come after destruction, of course, because as a phoenix, it'll rise, right? So they're showing the devastation after a nuclear event at the very end of her stage performance. And it shows the Christian sheep running around with biohazard gas masks on. I mean, just the whole thing. And I knew it was so important even at the time when I made the video. I put it in my movie, the scariest movie ever made, 2020. It's in the opening sequence, right? It's at the very end of the opening 3-minute sequence. Anyway, we got it.
About COVID-19, it doesn't care about. That's the thing about COVID-19. It doesn't care about how rich you are, how famous you are, how funny you are, how smart you are, where you live, how old you are, what amazing stories you can tell. It's the great equalizer. And what's terrible about it is what's great about it. What's terrible about it is it's made us all equal in many ways. And what's wonderful about it is that it's made us all equal in many ways. Like I used to say at the end of human nature every night, we're all in the same boat. And if the ship goes down, we're all going down together.
So even that I've also found in a few of these, Q threads where there's a message going around that we're all in this together. I guess that's been said by a lot of celebrities recently in the last few weeks. We're all in this together. A lot of news pundits have been saying it. Perhaps it's one of those codes. I don't know. But there's also been occasion of people saying that, if we go down, we all go down together as well. And I believe Madonna has done it twice. So, hey, I'm just throwing it out there for you guys to think of for yourself. All right. This is the stuff I've been finding down that Q rabbit hole. All right. I still have my hand, I still have a free hand. I'm not all in on the Q thing, and I never will be all in on anything like that. The only thing I'm all in on, and this doesn't sound funny, but I'm being serious. The only thing I'm all in on is Jesus and God. That's it. And the Bible. That's it. That's where I'm all in, and I always will be. That's most important. It's number one. All this other stuff, it's fun for us to pick it apart. It's imperative also that we watch and we pick things apart and share with others. I mean, this whole thing is a process, but throughout it all, I have my anchor, and I'm never going to lose that. You got to have that, especially now, even more so now. And it's going to continue to get more and more important I believe, to have Christ and to know God. And we're in that time of separation. That's one thing I've been showing y'all for years about the separation of the sheep and the goats. So look where we're at now, a planetary lockdown. And this really is a personal test for everybody in a lot of different ways. And we're just at the beginning of whatever this can be. Again, maybe we come out in a while. Maybe it, goes back to it later. I don't know. But no matter what, they've learned everything they needed to learn from this. If they, being those that want this Antichrist beast system to fully mature, they that want to crown the Antichrist and bring him in, have learned everything they need to from this, whether we come out of it or not. Maybe we come out in a little bit. Things kind of get back to normal. Everything goes on for a while. Who knows? Maybe it does. But regardless, they have learned, like I said, everything they needed to. They know now that there is a way to lock down the planet, right? To get everybody on the same page. The great equalizer. Okay, here's a bit of a doom break. A bit of a doom break for us all. It's really kind of gross. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. A fighter farts in an opponent's face and made him vomit everywhere. Okay, check this out. The vomit's not too bad. You don't see that very graphically, so it's not that bad. But check this out. This is kind of funny. Just a second, it's loading. It's taking a while.
All Blue Belt team members, make your way over to the bullpen, start warming up. All Blue Belt. That army.
I'm trying to make it full screen. It's not wanting to let me. Sorry, man, it's not going to let me do full screen. But anyway, check this out. I know that happened fast. Hold on here. Try again.
All Blue Belt team members, make your way over to the bullpen, start warming up. All Blue Belt. That army. That army. Start warming up.
I'm sorry, man. It's so dumb. It really is. But hey, sometimes we need a bit of a doom break, don't we? Grid overseer issues warning on the virus. Electricity grid overseer issues warning over virus. Not even really going to read the article. Just wanted to put it out there. It's something to watch for as well. That's something else to watch for is as more people are staying home, especially internet. That's what I've been wondering is how the internet's going to do. If we're going to see any internet outages as time continues, as more and more people are staying home. We'll see how that plays out. UK's sewage system in danger of gridlock from toilet paper substitutes. Ruh-roh. I went to the store just a few days ago and saw the same thing, man. The entire toilet paper aisle was just devastated. And all the decent canned foods were gone, like beans and stuff like that. It was a dollar store. It was something close to the house. Spend the lowest amount of money on just the kind of basic necessities, but when you're there, I figured, hey, I'll go check out the food, see what they got. And sure enough, like all the good stuff was gone. They left like not candied yams, but yeah, like candied yams and things like that's okay. This stuff's all right. You can't live on it. But anyway, consumers have been warned of the dangers of substituting kitchen roll and wet wipes for toilet paper, which if flushed down the loo could overwhelm the UK's sewers. Innocent consumer substitutions due to shortages caused by fears about the spread of coronavirus could create serious consequences which are critical to society and life, according to leading supply chain academic Professor Richard Wilding. The warning comes amid panic buying sweeping UK supermarkets, which has resulted in some people trying to make a massive profit by selling toilet paper rolls and hand sanitizers online. The Guardian found one UK-based eBay user selling a 72-pack of Andrex toilet paper for $84.99 on Monday morning, triple its retail price. This is disgusting when you see this. This is the worst parts of humanity when you see this stuff happening. Last week I showed you the story of the guy that bought, I don't know, how much was it? 1,700 different bottles of liquid hand sanitizer or something like this, and he wound up having to give it back over to the state. The same seller, who appears to be based in the Midlands, has bulk bought dozens of cleaning products and uploaded them onto eBay at huge markups since Saturday. They include a 48-pack of Andrex Loo Roll for $59.99, triple its retail price of $18, and Wilco antibacterial wipes for $10.95, nearly 10 times the retail price of $1 or £1. The seller and eBay have been contacted for comment. All right, there you go. The toilet paper thing, though, right? Really? Come on, guys. Oh, okay, here's oh gosh. All right, here's one. Look, this is so good. I almost mirrored it on my own channel, but I don't like mirroring other people's videos very often because some people get really crappy about that stuff. I've had it happen. We'll go into that some other time. I can tell you some stories. We'll do some story time sometime, but I can tell you some really stories about some really mean people in the so-called truth community that when you try to mirror something, even when you write them and ask them and all that stuff, they're real nasty about it. Anyway, long story short. No story. Let's just get right to it. Listen, I'm rambling. I do this. This is incredible footage. This means a lot. I think I already uploaded or downloaded it to my computer. I'm probably going to put this on my website at least for you guys. Okay, maybe I'll just mirror this person's or maybe upload it directly to save it because it's that important. This has to do with the virus. This has to do with how some people, some entities out there, some government entities may use this to their advantage by lying to the people to get more money out of this, right? Anyway, check this out. This is Urgent Care Hawaii lying to, he says, why is Urgent Care Hawaii lying to the people of Hawaii about coronavirus testing? This executive did not like me asking. This kid, or this young man, whatever age he is, he did a really great job. Check this out, guys. So the video explains itself. Just check this out. You get the basics.
Now. She's the CEO of Urgent Care and she assaulted me. And it's on video. I caught you lying to the people of Hawaii. Here's my question, guys. What's the lie? What's the game here? You're smart people. Why are they whipping us into a panic? Why are they lying about massive lines of people at testing centers? Why are they turning away the trickle of folks that show up to be tested?
Urgent Care Hawaii says its drive-up service was deluged by requests for coronavirus tests, especially yesterday.
What is the game? Because for the life of me, I cannot figure it out. Night after night being told there are these long lines of people being managed at the urgent care, that they're being overwhelmed.
Some waiting as long as 4 hours.
Actually, the president or CEO of urgent care, while I was in front of the place, was telling me, we're doing the best we can, managing these massive lines. I'm like, I'm here, lady. And there's no lines.
We were overwhelmed yesterday with the response to people wanting testing.
So my FaceTime lives have gotten the attention of urgent care because now they have sent the police here. Yesterday sent them as well, and they were on my side. They were on my side. They thought it was ridiculous.
He escalated, and apparently, he threatened our employees.
By the way, I like these guys. They're good guys. Those poor girls, they're making $15 an hour. I'm sure they're good women. And I don't blame this poor woman. Her CEO should be in prison for taking our money and lying about lines. Okay. There are no lines.
And we had to, ask for help. So we did call security, and the police came and helped to let him know that he needed to leave.
I'm going to ask the officers how big the line is so we can get them to verify there is no line. How you doing, officer? I just want to know why urgent care doesn't want me to document. They're lying on the news about being overwhelmed with lines and testing all these people. They're taking state money, and they're not testing anyone. I've been watching this. Everyone that comes to be tested, they send away. Am I breaking any laws?
as of right now, no.
They're breaking some laws.
What they're saying.
They're taking our money. Look at that line, officer. You see that line?
We don't call disturbance. I believe they wanted to trespass you.
For sitting in there documenting that they're not testing anyone?
For whatever reason, if they wish to trespass you, they can trespass.
Okay.
And they have the right, it's private property.
Yeah, I know. Are you the CEO? Did I talk to you yesterday? So are these the overwhelming lines that you guys have been lying to the people of Hawaii about? Are these the overwhelming lines? Do you see a line there? What's your name?
Oh, okay. You want to be here. Okay, first of all,
By the way, I have a lot more followers than you.
I don't have any followers.
Okay.
We're going to get up to this.
I'm a journalist, and this is going to be a column that's going to be read nationally.
That's great.
About how you're lying, that there are massive lines.
I never said there were massive.
That you're doing. You tested 25 people here yesterday?
You know what?
You said that.
You
You didn't test 25 people.
You're videotaping people trying
No, I
to
didn't.
get into a medical
No, I didn't. I got nobody going in.
Now.
Officer, why can't I press charges for assault? Are you the CEO of Urgent Care? Well, you must be upset that you just assaulted me. She's the CEO of Urgent Care and she assaulted me. And it's on video. Thank you for proving my point that I caught you lying to the people of Hawaii. She grabbed my hand, she tried to steal my phone. They're going on the news. They just had a press conference talking about overwhelming lines in Kapolei. Thank you.
Pick it up the chain. It's not the time and place for it.
Now I know we hit a nerve. I really don't know how I cannot press charges for that. I mean, I got a videotape. You know, I haven't recorded a single person going in there. I wouldn't do that. What I have recorded is a table with nobody there for hours and nobody coming up.
And what's your point?
My point is, why are you on the news saying you're overwhelmed with people coming to be tested? When? You said in Kapolei, you did 25 tests yesterday. It's in Hawaii News Now. That's a lie. And the time this was all taking place, nobody, not one person. So I want to know why they are on the news saying that the Kapolei location is being overwhelmed with people coming for tests. What is the game?
There you go. I think you get the gist of it. But I thought that was a really solid example of how this whole situation can be, and I'm sure will be, abused and used, right, to further agendas or to, I don't know, get more money, you know, whatever it is. Check this out. There it is. Come on over, man. Come here. You want to say hi? Yeah? Come here. I guess not. Come on. Chubbs is coming over. All right, so this right here is Lake Worth Beach City Commission meeting turns ugly. And the fiery point of contention, says, among city leaders was who has the emergency powers during the crisis. But again, this clip will kind of explain itself. Listen to what this man is saying that's arguing here. Check it out.
There's always things that pop up that we can do better on. And I call the question.
I'm sorry, that's not how this works. We each have an opportunity to speak 5 minutes.
I thought we did.
Yeah, the question's been called.
I'm sorry.
We've been
That's not how calling the question works. You need a second and you need to vote on it.
Then I have a second for calling
So
the
are
question.
you telling me that you're going to keep me from talking right now?
You've talked all evening.
Look here. You're calling me disrespectful because I've interrupted people, but this gentleman has turned off people's lights in the middle of a global health pandemic. That's what that gentleman did.
Point of order.
And you think I'm disrespectful for interrupting?
Point of order.
This gentleman has had the ability to do any number of things. We could have banned large gatherings. We could have closed the beach. We could have put a moratorium on utility shutoffs.
I recessed.
Also not within your power, and the attorney has held that that's true.
I recessed the meeting.
You came up with new rules at the beginning of the meeting, and then you didn't even want to follow the rules that you came up with. This is a banana republic is what you're turning this place into with your so-called leadership.
Does a recess mean that we will be?
Yes.
Camera on that?
I don't care anything about this.
Camera on that?
I don't care anything about this. We should have been talking about this last week.
We cut off people's utilities this week and made them pay what could have been their last check to us to turn their lights on in the global health pandemic. But you don't care about that. You didn't want to meet. But every other year you go around and beg people for their votes.
Can we explain
But you care more about your relationship with that guy than you care about the relationship with the people who don't go to work in this building.
Lordy, you were done. You're done. You're done.
It's disrespectful is what you've done to the working people in the city.
I didn't do anything.
You failed to act.
I didn't do anything.
When you're a leader, you failed to act. You said you didn't do anything. You failed to act. When you had an opportunity.
Party for State House.
I don't care anything about that. I don't think anybody cares.
Does a recess mean that we can reconvene tonight or? Okay. Is that in 5 minutes or?
Wow. When I first saw this, I went kind of in a different direction in my mind. It took me back to a time when I worked in a very toxic environment for a very long time. It was basically my whole last 4 years in the Coast Guard. I worked in the clinic in Yorktown, Virginia. There's an officer candidate school there, and it's a pretty big unit. But I worked in the actual clinic there all 4 years. This is after I went to my medic school or whatever for the Coast Guard, corpsman school. And the very first few months it was awesome because our guys that were in charge were really cool and there's a good group of people. It switched out. This happened to me in Maui. I was stationed in Maui, Hawaii for 2 years. Same thing. I got there. There's a 9-man search and rescue law enforcement detachment. That's all. It was a very small unit. I first got there. The 2 guys in charge, awesome. There's a change of command in 2 months. And I mean, polar opposite, 180. Worst case scenario, horrible people, alert. Our command was terrible for almost my whole 2 years in Maui, Hawaii. So as awesome as Maui was, it's hard to counterbalance all the greatness with all the pain and misery from working for these 2 people I had to work for out there. It was terrible. But then after I got to Yorktown, again, great guys. 2 of the people there I met, I'm still really good friends with. One of them's down in Texas. I go down and see him and his wife all the time. So still friends with some of my people from back in those days. But after the command left that was there when I first showed up, within a couple months, we got 2 guys in there that were just total nightmares. And it was bad for everybody. And it all filters down. You know, it works its way down. You get bad leadership, it just works its way down. So even people I thought that were cool in the first few months I got there, they changed in time. And then it's like just more bad people started showing up to our unit. You know, more new people started getting assigned to our unit that were just terrible. They didn't do their jobs. They had bad attitudes. There was a lot of negativity. But anyway, there was this guy there that worked there when I was there most of the time. And this guy hated, there's a couple of them, and they hated me. They hated my guts. They hated me. It'd be a long story to explain why these people hated me so much, because I really think a lot of it's about their weakness, but I don't want to be sounded like, it's because I'm all this and that. It's nothing like that. But I never did anything. I don't mess with people. I've always just been in my own thing, and I want to do a good job. And, I like to have a laugh, and I'm not here to screw with people. But, some people still hate people like us. Some of you are like me. You're calm, cool people, right? And, maybe you're a little smart, and you like to do things, and you like to, make things a little nicer and do a really good job and all this. But sometimes when you outshine people, they get really mad being inside your shadow. Maybe that's part of it. Again, I probably sound like I'm putting it all on these guys, but we'll have a story time and I'll tell you the whole situation. It was absolutely insane with 2 of these people. One of them, his name was Travis. This guy was an atheist, and goes way back. He was really into Marilyn Manson. I remember that. But he and I got along because he had a good sense of humor, and we joked around and all this and stuff. And we were friends for a few months. We'd hang out together all the time and had kind of similar groups and stuff. But then one time I was in the barracks going up there to visit, and I was in the TV room waiting for a friend to show up, and another guy popped in. He was one of Travis's friends. He was my friend too. He was like, dude, Travis had you all wrong. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I've been friends with Travis for like several months at this point. He's like, he's always talking shit about you behind your back, dude. Like, you know, that he just really hates you, that you're annoying and all this stuff. But dude, I thought you were fun to hang out with. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I didn't even see any of this coming, you know? So anyway, I didn't put that guy on blast. I said, yeah, well, hey, thanks, I guess, you know, I appreciate it. But, and then later I put Travis on blast. And when you put the light on somebody that only knows darkness, they really hate you. So this kid's hatred for me manifested in some just insane ways. For 4 years, almost 4 years, I had to deal with him. Games these people would try to play, try to get me in trouble and things. It got really crazy, but I was always stayed one step ahead. I had some really cool friends there too at the same time. And, you know, we all had our groups, you know, it was like the Warriors. We all had our different little gangs. But there were times that Brian, one of these guys that hated me, man, I'd know he'd be running into one of the patients' rooms where it'd be like a group of people. He'd be just talking trash about me. I knew when he was going to do this, I'd go take my stethoscope, you know, in the other room right next to it. And I'd have somebody with me and we'd be listening in through the wall with our stethoscopes to everything they were saying, you know, and I'd just bust his balls later on everything he was putting out. I'd put it out in front of people because I had the truth on my side. Again, these guys were little liars, man, just made up stuff about me. I'd put these guys on blast in front of everybody and just make them just look like the trash they were being at the time. Anyway, I'm rambling. I do this. There you go. Trending, out of control teenagers coughing on grocery store produce. Idle teenagers are participating in a disturbing trend of coughing on grocery store produce and posting their pranks online as the nation fights the coronavirus, which is known to spread from human droplets spraying from mouths. The latest incident occurred in the Washington exurb of Purcellville, Virginia, some 55 miles from the White House. According to a Purcellville Police Department report, an incident occurred at a local grocery store involving juveniles reportedly coughing on produce while filming themselves and posting it on social media. The report said that the store, identified on social media as Harris Teeter, immediately removed the items and cleaned up the area. The police said the grocery store immediately removed the items in question and has taken appropriate measures to ensure the health of store patrons. All right, cool. Gross though, right? Come on, people. Okay, I'm not going to play this whole thing. It's like 10 minutes long, but I'll play some. Cable guy explains why he quit installing 5G. Make of this what you will. So I'm not going to play the whole thing. We'll play a little bit, though. Check it out.
And I'm a tower climber. You know, I earned that title with my blood, sweat, and tears. My name's Ian, and I am a tower climber. You know, I earned that title with my blood, sweat, and tears. I earned that title. Though not too long ago, I quit the industry. After finding out that I was installing a Chinese-made weapons and surveillance platform. I took a $60,000 a year pay cut and entered another field. And I've been avoiding making this video. I was just never telling how far a video would go. After a couple times going viral, I'm just kind of over it. But there's some things going on in the world now that I can't sit on the information and not tell you. Even though I may struggle with how to tell you. Like, all right, so there's a lot of myth and disinformation about 5G. And a lot of people are scared, and rightly so. This isn't what we're used to. This is not anything like what we've got online now. Well, though, now we've got it online, and that's the issue. It's not just theoretical anymore. It's not just being installed in preparation of. It is online, and I'm being proven right, and I hate it. Because there are some communities out there that are going to feel the effects of what I installed there. Where do I even start? All right, so 5G is a new way of emitting radio frequency. All right. Unlike 2G, like 2G and 3G, it is directional. All right. 4G emits itself in a bubble, and your exposure to the radio frequency, which is non-ionizing radiation, which means that it doesn't have the strength like plutonium or uranium to knock your electrons out of the path and start mutation. Though radio frequency has been proven by the National Institute of Health's toxicology program to be carcinogenic. And that's just a 2G, 3G. They found conclusively that it caused tumors and cancer. All right. They tested it on rats, but they proved it. $30 million 2-year study, they proved it. Cell phone radiation is carcinogenic. All right. And your user manual that you got with your phone, it tells you to keep the thing away from your body. Do not carry it on your body next to your skin. It tells you to use your phone holding it 6 inches away from your head. There's a reason. Now 5G is a whole new ball game. And it emits radio frequency in a millimeter wave. Right? It's like a non-ionizing radiation laser beam, essentially. And they've done tests on this. They found out that there were adverse health effects from exposure to millimeter waves in the 70s. I've seen some of the documents. I've seen the studies. They found out a long time ago, which is why the military used it. They use it in a thing called the active denial system. It's a crowd control. They spray the crowd with a millimeter wave radio frequency, and it causes the water molecules in your sweat glands to feel like they're boiling, and the crowd disperses immediately. And this job that I love and took so much pride in had me installing similar technology in your communities, and I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore. And I made some videos, and a lot of people were scared, and rightly so. But then I just kind of dropped off. But there's some things going on in the world now that I can't not comment on. Because in November of 2019, the Wuhan district in China brought online the world's first smart city grid. You understand? They flipped the switch, turned on their 5G network at 60 gigahertz, and within 2 months they've got an outbreak. Respiratory illnesses. Now here's the real interesting thing about 60 gigahertz. 60 gigahertz is absorbed by oxygen. It's an interesting part of the radio frequency spectrum. 2.4 gigahertz, the same thing as your microwave and your cordless phone and your home router. Those all operate right around 2.4 gigahertz, and it interacts with hydrogen molecules, which is why water boils, because it interacts with the electrons, causes them to spin and excite. 60 gigahertz radio frequency, and it's looking like somewhere around 40 gigahertz does as well, interacts with oxygen molecules. It's absorbed by oxygen molecules, causes the electrons to spin, and it makes it impossible for the body's hemoglobin to break it down and bond it to iron, essentially rendering the air in the path of that laser beam unbreathable. And Wuhan turned theirs on in November. And here in March, the world's looking at quarantine. All right, you start doing the math. The Diamond Princess, you're going to say the cruise liners. The cruise liners don't have. Yeah, they sure do. The Diamond Princess was premiering a dedicated 40 gigahertz Starlink network. They have a dedicated mid-Earth orbit satellite that follows that boat around and provides high-speed data to them. Or you start doing the math. Wuhan turned theirs on. Then South Korea. Italy. Milan turned theirs on. The United Kingdom turned theirs on. There's cities all across America. If you take a look at one of the outbreak maps and then overlay it with our 5G smart grid maps.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there for a second. Overlay a map of the virus in America with the 5G map. That's what he just said. So it's another one of those fun ones. If you want to take a quick little, side road and take a look at that while you're listening, let us know what you come up with, if there's anything interesting there, because that is something to consider. He's also about to address, I believe, a concern here where when the whole idea came out originally with 5G being connected with the virus, people were saying it couldn't be because of the cruise ships and stuff like this. I'm staying kind of in the middle here and still kind of taking in all the information myself, but I know he's going to address that, I believe, in a second. So some of y'all have probably been thinking about that, but here we go. We'll continue.
And ding, ding, ding. Ladies and gentlemen, this technology is dangerous, and it is proving me right. I would have rather have been wrong. I would have rather have been dead wrong. But I'm being proven right. And there's so much misinformation out there and so much lack of knowledge, and none of the media agencies are speaking about this. None of them have mentioned this tie. It is not coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. I mean, there are communities here on our soil, here in America, where I installed it. And for that, I am truly sorry.
All right, I think that's good. I think we got most of it. We did most of it, didn't we? About 8 minutes worth. So there you go. What are your thoughts on that? This is just one. This is from Lotus Jackson. Cable guy explains why he quit installing 5G warning. But I know this is in a lot of other places as well. It's probably gone viral itself at some point somewhere else, I'm sure. Not that necessarily matters. It may to some. But if it's real, if he's telling the truth, it is important. So I do hope this is getting out there more. I'm just making that point because there's not very many views here. But this is a much smaller channel, too. He's only got 827 subs. So there you go. But what do you think about the information? What are your wait, let me see it. Let him see if I think he addressed the I totally forgot about that. Let me make sure he addresses the ships. Hold on.
No longer. I took a $60,000 a year pay cut because I believe that firmly in it. I quit. I will never be put in a position where I'm going to choose money over harming my fellow American. Look, it's coming. They're going to install small cell sites on street posts, street lamps, traffic lights, telephone poles. They're going to install hundreds of thousands of them across our country, across the nation, across the world. And not mention what it's doing to you. Look, we've got to speak up. We've got to speak out. You've got to talk to your city council, your senators, your congressmen. You've got to hashtag at real Donald Trump and let him know that you are scared and as if you speak up. So let me tell you what, Big Telecom has.
All right, I think that's pretty much it. In all fairness, as the video was playing, I'll admit I took a little break. I stepped away for a few minutes, so I may have missed the part where I think he mentioned the ships, the cruise ships, right? Because the cruise ships, we've seen the virus take place there as well. Now, I swear it was either him or somebody else, but I could have sworn I'd seen somebody, and I thought it was this video where he addressed that certain issue. Now, he may have addressed it tonight on this video when I stepped away. If so, that's great. If not, well, I'm just rambling and being goofy again, I guess. But here we go. We'll move on. All right, now here's a really crazy one. Now look, a lot of people are on lockdown right now. A lot of you have got a lot of extra time on your hands. Now I hope you spend that productively for the most part, but it's always important to escape for a while. I'm a big fan of creativity, imagination, and just kind of disappearing for a little while and not paying attention to all the madness in the world all around us, right? At all times. We got to take little breaks from time to time. So I found this crazy new, weird little conspiracy theory here. Chances are, my opinion is, chances are it's all just something that's fabricated, and it's some kind of maybe a, what's the term I'm looking for here? It's art, you know, it's like an art form. If you performance art, that's what I'm looking for. Like perhaps it's some kind of performance art or something like that. I'll let you make up your own mind. We'll play some of this and I'll let you see what I'm talking about. It's the 1060594 conspiracy. Have you heard about this? Well, this page on TikTok has 3 million views itself. It all started with this lady right here. And I'm not really, and again, it's a real potpourri. I'm not really sure which one to land on first, but she comes out and she says that 1060594 is her number, and that, or sequence or something, and that everybody has a sequence. And once you find it, we can escape this world. Now, the more I've watched some of this, again, this is a fun rabbit hole, which I really think leads nowhere but just entertainment. But if you want to just spend a little time, you're in lockdown, you got nothing else to do, look up the 1060594. I'll play some of these and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is kind of the idea. Let's see what this one is here.
Who remembers Ebola? Who remembers the swine flu? How about the bird flu? How many people died? How many people infected? Did they shut down schools? Did they shut down international travel? Did they talk about closing borders? No, they didn't. They're trying to distract us from finding our codes. 1060594. 1060594. Find your codes. They're in your dreams. You can find them in your dreams, on the buildings, in the sky, in the clouds, on the sides of planes, in school books. You can find them. Who remembers Ebola?
Okay, so there's some. We'll play some more for you. Here, check this out.
1060594. 1060594. Your iris is my iris. It's the mark that they gave us. 10.
That's another thing they always say is your iris is my iris. That's the mark they gave us, and they close in on the one eye, which I think is interesting too. And I see that more kind of a spiritual aspect, if you will. I don't even know how aware some of these people are, but then again, I find stuff like this. This young lady doing it over here. Her name is 6 Dark 6 Phoenix 6. So 666 Dark Phoenix. So whether she's doing it in her mind to be edgy or whatever, if this young lady doesn't have the Holy Spirit, and so the way I see things, she's being led by the other things, the other spirits. So of course we'll find a 666 Dark Phoenix. And I'll play some more of these. Look at this one.
I know that you know that we know. I know that you know that we know. 1060594. 1060594. My iris is your iris. 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 I know that you.
Now, even look at this one's name. It's at Green Eyes Iris, or is it Green Eye Cyrus? Both have an interesting meaning. But Green Eyes Iris, Green Eye Cyrus, regardless, the symbol is the all-seeing eye. So this isn't to say, oh, they're all the Illuminati, you know. I mean, I doubt in a case like this, these people are on that level. But I do see them not being Holy Spirit led and being led by wicked spirits. And I've talked about this before with the symbols. We see the symbols in so many movies and TV shows and logos. Sometimes it's placed there on purpose because it is a signal to the others, right? They're representing, if you will. But sometimes it works through spiritually, and it all shows that these agendas all still line up with ultimately with the beast system. right? The Antichrist agenda. Play some more of these here. A bunch. Here's some.
1060594. 1060594. Your iris is my iris. It's the mark that they gave us. 1060594.
And a lot of these people will be the dum-dums, really, that just kind of jump on something weird and don't know what it's all about. You know, there's that angle as well.
Funny thing about crazy.
But this is the main girl here that seems to be Ashlyn Kennedy is her name. She even has a YouTube channel, Ashlyn Kennedy 25, and has all these videos up there. If you're, again, just want to go down a goofy rabbit hole, you got a little extra time on your hands, go have some fun. But anyway, here it is.
Does the lion think that the crow is crazy for eating dead, rotten meat? Or does the crow think the lion's crazy for working so hard for his meal? They're only giving us crumbs, you know, the government. They're only giving us crumbs. Are you willing to settle for crumbs? Because I'm not. I'm not. Funny thing about... Ever wonder why you don't have any very early childhood memories? You might have some memories from maybe first grade, only because they were told to you or you saw photographs or you think you remember. Well, let me tell you something. All those memories and stories you've been told from when you were born, they're fake.
They're
That's
fake.
right. They were planted there because we don't belong here. We never were here. We're never supposed to be here. We were not here then. Millions of souls trapped in the debt slave society. Look it up. We're going to get out of here. 1060594. That's my code. Find yours. I know you can. Good night.
You see what I'm saying? They're kind of weird, right? It's all, you know, here's some more.
1060594. You want to know the real reason they're shutting down borders and they're shutting down schools? They're shutting down all of that stuff. It's not because of the coronavirus. It's because they want to lock us up and they want to put us in FEMA camps and they want to take away our freedom. Watch out. Open your eyes. Be aware. Find your code. 160. You know.
She didn't remember her number. Play a couple more of these.
Mark, are you out there? 1060594. We're ready for you. We're at the safe house 27048. 27048.
Do some more here.
I know you've all seen the coverage on the virus. You know what it's for, don't you? Your parents or your grandparents have been paying into Social Security their whole lives, knowing that when they retire, they'll get that money back. Well, guess what? The virus will ensure that the debt slave society gets to keep the cash. Don't believe me? Look it up. 1060594. Look it up. Social Security.
All right, so I'll just maybe do a couple more and then we'll be done, okay? I just figured these are kind of fun to look at. Let's see. Here's one. All right, let me see. There's one I was trying to find here where they're on a location. They're looking for someone named Mark, they're saying.
Okay, so here's the deal. 1060594. There's some crazy stuff going on outside. I'm seeing cars go by real slow. I'm hearing people in my bushes. I gotta go. But do me a favor tonight, guys. Try and look up the hole to the center of the earth that's at the North Pole. Try to figure out why we can't fly over the North Pole. Why you're escorted by military away from the top of the North Pole? 1060594.
Okay, I think we had about enough of that, but I wanted to share some with you. Again, if you want to do something, just probably a waste of time, really. But hey, some of you have extra time to waste. 1060594. Dig into it if you're interested. Maybe you find something of interest. I don't know. Of course, I think a lot of it's just kind of a LARP. All right, but hey.
Hi, I'm Trixie Mattel.
Okay, this is another Netflix show. Look at this, over 700,000 views. New Netflix show with drag queens, of course, Trixie Mattel and Katya, and it's called Sex Explained. You can see I gave it a thumbs down there. Let's watch just a little bit here. But this is the garbage they're pushing, is the point.
I'm a queen who likes to watch. And today I'm going to get to watch TV by myself. Got this whole couch here. Oh, it looks like Katya did stop by before we started. You see that missing piece of food there? Hi. Hey. Oh, God. Never mind. Oh, there's food. Hi, I'm Trixie Mattel. And I'm Katya. And we are two queens who like to watch. Today we're having Sex Explained to us by Janelle Monáe in Sex Explained, narrated by Janelle.
That's really all. I don't really want to watch a lot more of that, but I just want to show you this is watching our society crumble apart, right? Okay, another cool UFO video once again from our friend UFO Mania. The truth is out there. Check this out. See if I can find the he does the robot voice quite a bit. Let me see if I can find the original footage here. Here we go. It shoots orbs out. Watch. There they go. You see them? It happened pretty fast, but you can see the orbs come out. Watch. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Not bad. What could that be? What could that be? That's the question. Quarantine shaming. U.S. navigates radical new social norms. The chairman of Arizona's Asian Chamber of Commerce didn't see much downside to attending a small dinner at a local restaurant to bolster the business and bring together other leaders to discuss how to help Asian American eateries devastated by the coronavirus. That was at least until he posted about it on IG. The feedback was swift from people who were appalled that Ryan Winkle would promote a gathering, even a small one, as COVID-19 ravaged and entire cities were urged to self-isolate. I started getting some messages saying, hey, why are you trying to spread the virus? I was like, it's a small event, and everyone had washed their hands, and they had sanitizer on the tables, Winkle said of the dinner. My thinking is always about the economics. Imagine when all these businesses shut down, that's a whole different problem. Quarantine shaming, calling out those not abiding by social distancing rules, is part of a new and startling reality for Americans who must navigate a world of rapidly evolving social norms in the age of COVID-19. This to me immediately screams more trauma-based mind control. more mind control tactics. I really hate this idea, the social distancing. It just feels wrong, doesn't it? We understand. Wants to separate humanity, separated us from the others. They've been doing this forever, and we talk about this a lot around here. It's tribalism. Even like the TV show Survivor, they separate you into camps and they turn you against each other, right? Well, we see this happening in our world constantly. Black versus white versus brown versus this versus that versus gay versus trans. I mean, it's all tribalism. And now they have the ultimate way, the ultimate separator here to put us all into individual little categories and now turn us against each other individually based on this quarantine shaming. This one's interesting as well. Locust crisis poses a danger to millions, forecasters warn. We've talked about this the last few weeks, but it continues to be a story. I mean, it's still evolving. This is from March 20th, just 4 days ago. The locust crisis that has now reached 10 countries could carry on to endanger millions more people, forecasters have said. Climate change, of course, they say climate change created unprecedented conditions. I hate that they're using climate change in this, of course. But this is what they do. Well, this is The Guardian, so no surprises. More of the agenda. But climate change created unprecedented conditions for the locusts to breed in the usually barren desert of the Arabian Gulf, according to experts. And the insects were then able to spread through Yemen, where civil war has devastated the ability to control locust populations. Huh. Wow. Yeah, we've been covering this for a few weeks, man. There's some amazing footage of these locust swarms out there. Billions. There's billions of them. Billions. So we look at the signs, right? We consider all the signs. We see pestilence. We see famine, right? Larry the Cable Guy exposes virtue signaling Hollywood hypocrites. Here's a message from people with a lot of possessions that can take a year off of work. Wait, let me see. There we go. Blue-collar comedy tour comedian Larry the Cable Guy slammed Hollywood liberals on Thursday, sharing a video on Twitter where celebs sing John Lennon's Imagine to spread hope during the C virus. Here's a message from people with a lot of possessions that can take a year off of work and not flinch, telling everyone out of work to imagine a world with no possessions while people are living in the street a half a mile away from them, Larry wrote. So true. Have you guys seen this? It's truly ridiculous. And he makes the best point ever. As he said, these are, Hollywood millionaires. They're singing us Imagine from John Lennon, right? They're singing down to us from their ivory towers. These people have all the money they could ever need. So they're going to be okay, for quite a while. But check this out. If you haven't seen some of this, I'll play this out here.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
Well, there's also the obvious, in my opinion, kind of the Luciferian angle. Look what they start with, of course. Here we go. Or not. Let me try that again.
It's easy if you try.
Gotta restart it. Yeah, listen to the very beginning. We know the lyrics, but still. And this is Hollywood, right? Singing to us.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people
Living for today. Yeah.
Imagine there's no countries, yeah. It isn't hard to do.
Nothing they kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living for today. that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one.
Imagine no possessions.
I wonder if you can.
No need for greed and hunger.
Brotherhood of man.
Sharing all the world. You. They may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Don't you guys feel better now being locked up, right? You feel good, don't you? Hollywood celebrities made you feel okay. They are clueless, as Larry the Cable Guy says. Agreed, sir. Agreed. He also says, I appreciate all the awesome tweets today. Sorry I couldn't respond to all. I have no animosity toward these folks. The song was in bad taste. Marx would be proud of that song. Good job. I agree, sir. And I'm not imagining no heaven. Jesus gives hope. Government can't give people a heart, change, or hope. All right. Good stuff, Larry. Good man. There you go. There you have it. Vegas Strip Club offers drive-through peep show amid social distancing rules, and society continues to fall apart no matter what. I actually saw another story earlier today. I don't know if I added it tonight, but it's some strip clubs now they're calling it Boober Eats, where they'll send 2 strippers over to your house to deliver food to you from wherever you want it delivered. And of course, the girls are scantily clad, and so there you go. Some of you may be cheering this. I'm no Quaker. I'm no Puritan over here. I'm not Amish, okay, or anything like that. But and in the past, years ago, when I was a younger man, I was in the military and all, been to a couple of these clubs. But I can tell you, it was really never my thing, and I was never meant for these kind of places. First off, I'm a feeler. I'm a deep person. I'm an empath, an INFP. This is true. So I feel things. So immediately when I walk into those places, I always felt desperation from the people, and I always felt sadness from the girls. Now, not that they're all sad. Some of them embrace this lifestyle. I'm sure they make good money, this and that, the other, but I still felt the sadness towards them because I know that doing that kind of work, you're not, quote, serving the Lord, or by extension of that, serving your best purpose for him. I don't think that anybody is being their best person when they're being a stripper or a prostitute, whether it be a male or a female. That's just me. Maybe I'm old school like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, there you go. Drive-through strip club. Okay, I'm going to refresh this so you see that this is real. This is from EarthCam on YouTube. This is live from Times Square. This really blows my mind. Let me tell you why. I lived out there in New York City for about a year. It's almost a year. With a cousin of mine, my cousin John. I've mentioned him before. I love my cousin John. And wow, this is Times Square, guys. Maybe you're not familiar. You've seen this in lots of movies and TV shows and everything else. New Year's Eve, that's where New Year's Eve usually is. It's Times Square, New York City. This is crazy. I saw some images earlier today. I don't think I added them to the show. If you're interested, you can go look them up. Somebody was taking pictures, I think it was on the news as well, of some of the major highways in Los Angeles, like the 5, the 101, the 405. And it blew me away. Again, I lived out there for like 5-6 years, and the traffic out there it's known around the world as being one of the worst places ever when it comes to traffic. Is greater Los Angeles, okay, like around Los Angeles downtown. It's insane out there, and they were like ghost towns. It was like something out of The Walking Dead when Rick was riding that horse into the city in Atlanta. It's crazy. Anyway, look at this, man. This is nuts. So this is EarthCam Live, Times Square, New York City. Total lockdown. That is just crazy. To me, it's crazy, man. Anyway, if you want to watch that EarthCam on YouTube, check it out sometime. Little clip I wanted to share from the Book of Eli. This is a good one. Check this out. I think it's pertinent to the times.
Do you remember what it was like in the world before?
Yeah.
What was it like?
People had more than they needed. We had no idea what was precious, what wasn't. We threw away things people kill each other for now.
Man, right? Seriously. I mean, I know the volume's not the best on that. The audio is not, but we can look at the CC here together. Did you ever see the Book of Eli? Have you guys ever checked that out? Man, highly recommended. If you haven't seen the Book of Eli, wow. That's a cool movie, in my opinion. Very cool movie. It's much more than just an action-y type film. There's a lot going on here. But he said, we had no idea what was precious. We threw away things people kill each other for now. Man, I'm guilty of that too, man. I've got this thing about leftovers. I can't eat leftovers for long, less than 24 hours, and I have to throw it out. I've always been that way. It's just the way I am, you know. Real paranoid about food being beyond its expired date, because my mom still does this. Even when we were kids, she'd hold on to stuff forever. Like, she never cared about the expiration date. So me and my sister would get into food sometimes that was expired and be like, you're like suddenly you're eating like moldy meat. You don't realize it, and stuff like that. No offense to my mom. She doesn't mean any harm. All right. But she's always been that way. She thinks, things can last longer, and, we get rid of things too quick. You should hold on to things. And I'm definitely not, I don't think that way. But anyway, so with the food thing, yeah. But even for me, so it's a part of who I am now, is that I can't have something in my fridge for longer than 24 hours if I've cooked it or something and it's sitting in a some kind of container. If it's more than a day that it's in there, even closer, just under that, I have to get rid of it. It just freaks me out because I'm scared that, I'm going to wind up eating something moldy again. I'll never forget that feeling or that taste. That sounds horrible, but it just freaks you out. And that goes to our psychology, things like that happen to us when we're little, it stays with you. Again, no knock on my mom. I got the best mom ever. Love my mom. I've told y'all before, I'm crazy, man. With my mom and dad, they're amazing. They just had their 40th anniversary not long ago. They're some of the coolest people ever. Still deeply in love. It's incredible, so. But just, if you ever come to my house, to mom's house with me, just be careful if you're making that bologna sandwich or something. You better check the dates on things, okay? Anarchy in Pelosi, San Francisco. We talked about this earlier. People are looting the stores all over the city. Here's some videos. This guy says very common sight around the city now.
Pieces of shit. Hope you overdose. Piece of shit.
If you didn't know, San Francisco is one of these cities that's no longer going to prosecute any crimes or arrest people for under $1,000, which is crazy, right? Because a lot of these cities passed this law at the same time they were allowing people out of prison earlier. You can look this up if you didn't know. Not sure if San Francisco is one of them as far as letting the prisoners out. Maybe I'm not sure off the top of my head. They may be. But this is the new law that's coming into effect and has come into effect recently and over the last few months, lining up with the situation we're in now. Do you not see that they're wanting anarchy? That these Luciferians, these Satanists, they want anarchy. They want destruction. This is what they want. It's my belief in this. Look at this.
I hope the drugs are good. Pieces of shit. Hope you overdose. Piece of shit.
All right, now there's another one here. Y'all may have seen this one, but this is another one just in case you haven't. Check this out.
Oh my God. Oh, so crazy. Please let us stop. What's wrong? 911. No. Oh my God. Call the police. Yeah, you need a police officer. Bank robbery and robbery. 1630 Ocean Avenue. Yeah, they're
I didn't want to come on here and say, hey, saints, but I'll just say this. This is what you're up against, what we're all up against. There really is a division taking place before our very eyes. I've told you about this for years. It's the separation of the sheep and the goats, the wheat and the tares. We're entering a time of miracles. I believe that for those of us who follow Christ. We know we have manifestations of the Holy Spirit, healing, exorcising demons among some. I believe we're entering that time. And I really do believe we have to be the light of the world now, more so than ever. That's the time we're in. That's what we're entering. Again, I tell you, I don't know what will happen. Maybe we come out of this current situation in a few weeks for a while. Maybe things go good. I don't know. Maybe it lasts for a while. But this has set a precedent. This idea that we can lock down the entire planet for a situation. We, again, have never seen this before. So I don't want to say, oh, it's a bad thing, because I've been showing y'all for years we're heading towards that time where they're going to show us the Antichrist. None of this is lost on me, what my job has been and my mission has been for so many years. We're in that time. We're in that season. I believe it's going to come. Until it comes, until it happens, let's really try and be a light in this world. Let's really try and help our friends, our neighbors, our loved ones, get our lives straight. You know, we all have stuff to deal with. All of us do. I got my things, you got your things, but honestly, I feel pretty good, man. I've been working on a lot of things personally for a long time, and I feel pretty good. And I'm not, you know, again, toot, I'm doing great. You know, I got nothing to worry about. It's nothing like that, man. I got my issues. We all do. But I'm feeling good, and I'm giving a lot of things up for the Lord. And I'm trying to do this in my real life, in the real, instead of just doing, you know, talking about it and exposing darkness and things and videos and whatnot. But I can't do that and then have some dual existence where I'm being a piece of crap in my real life. I've always tried to be the best I can for him. And, you know, we fall. We're not always good, but then we do good. And then sometimes we get comfortable when we do good for so long, and then we get tested again and you fall. I mean, it's just a nonstop process, but just stay in it, be involved in it, to realize all this is spiritual. All of it goes back to God, Jesus, Lucifer, or the devil, the Bible. All this stuff is real, guys. And we're seeing so much of it unfold before our very eyes, eschatology, if you will, the end times. It's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. This is pretty crazy. Yes, there's a Saint Corona, and her remains are in northern Italy. Corona was only 16 and gave her life to comfort a fellow Christian. Right in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic is in the city of Anzu, Italy. There's a basilica, which is a serpent. Look up basilica. Oh, Roma's filled with them. Filled with serpents. No surprise. There is a basilica in Anzu where the relics of St. Victor and St. Corona have been preserved since the 9th century. The word corona is Latin for crown. Ironically, St. Corona is considered as one patron saint of pandemics. Did you see that? Ironically. This isn't ironic. St. Corona is considered as one of the patron saints of pandemics. Let that sink in. The coronavirus sweeping the globe is also named for Crown. I've covered that recently myself. Little is known about Saint Corona, but she and the man she prayed for, Saint Victor, are listed in the Roman Martyrology and the hagiography of the church. There's ambiguity surrounding the dates and locations of Saint Victor's and Saint Corona's martyrdom. Most sources say it was Syria, which was under Roman rule. Some say Damascus, others Antioch. Most agree they were put to death in the year 170 AD. Most historians agree they died during the reign of Marcus Aurelius, and that they were put to death by order of a Roman judge named Sebastian. The story legend tells the tale of a Roman soldier named Victor. The Romans discovered that Victor was a Christian. The soldiers brought Victor before a judge named Sebastian, who despised Christians. He decided to make an example out of Victor. He was bound to a pillar and summarily whipped until his skin was hanging from his body, and then Sebastian had his eye gouged out. Through it all, Victor never denied Christ. Nearby was a 16-year-old girl named Corona. She was the wife of one of the soldiers, and she was also a Christian. Corona's husband did not know his wife was a Christian. As Victor was being brutalized, Corona decided she needed to help the slowly dying man. She chose to announce her Christianity to all present and hurried over to where they were torturing Victor. She knelt and began to pray for him, letting him know she was there for him. It did not take very long for the soldiers to bring her before Sebastian. Sebastian was livid that this young woman had so disrespected his authority. He immediately had her put in prison and tortured. Then he ordered her tied to the tops of 2 palm trees, which had been pulled down to the ground. At his signal, the ropes holding the trees bent were cut. The trees sprang back away from each other to an upright position. The force was so great that Corona's body was ripped apart. Then Sebastian ordered Victor beheaded. The remains in the basilica have been there since the 9th century. In 1943 and again in 1981, they were examined, and the bones are from both a male and female. In the 1981 examination, they discovered cedar pollen, which was a typical plant from the Mediterranean basin during the time in question. Archaeologists confirmed that this pollen would have been present in Syria and Cyprus. Wow. How about that? How about that? There's really a Saint Corona? Wow. And the remains are in northern Italy. Interesting how these things all just kind of line up, right? As crazy as it seems, we find all these synchronicities. I love synchronicities. I do. Police in North Carolina find stolen trailer full of toilet paper. Why am I not surprised?
We are the buttress force.
Oh, it's not the story. I'll just read. With the American population fighting over a single precious roll of toilet paper amid the coronavirus outbreak, police in North Carolina uncovered nearly 18,000 pounds of commercial bathroom paper products inside a stolen trailer tractor on Wednesday. Police said they aren't releasing the name of the driver because the topic of toilet paper is fairly sensitive right now. After further investigation, it was determined the 53-foot Hyundai dry van trailer was reported stolen locally and was being utilized to transport nearly 18,000 pounds, pounds of toilet paper? Wow, pounds of commercial bathroom paper products. Unbelievable. Look at this. It's a lot of toilet paper. A lot of toilet paper. You can't eat toilet paper. Oh, crap. Okay. I got to do this again real quick. Pause the ad block. C-virus argument ends in shooting death, police say. A Thursday night argument between roommates over restrictions caused by coronavirus concerns escalated into fatal shooting, police said. Officers responded to a shots fired called at 9:12 p.m. March 19th in the 1700 block of Weldon Boulevard in the Dickin neighborhood of Ann Arbor. The officers found 2 men, one of whom was unresponsive, had been shot multiple times, police said. Paramedics with Huron Valley Ambulance determined the man had died at the scene. The shooting is not considered a homicide at this time, said Cox, who's calling it a death investigation. The suspect has said he shot the victim after arguing with him about restrictions in place due to COVID-19, the disease caused by novel coronavirus, police said. The victim lunged at the shooter with a crowbar, police said. The suspect, who currently is in custody, notified officers of the incident. There's no indication that additional danger to the public exists, Cox said in the email. All right. Wow. But, these are, again, some of the worst elements of this whole situation that we could find. And this is why I always go back to a spiritual center on this, a center in on Christ and on God and on the Word, and to stay focused, okay? Because when people lose everything, they lose it, all right? We know this. This is what happens. But it doesn't have to be the case for us all. As long as we take this into a context of a more of a spiritual situation, spiritual warfare, many of the cases we're actually watching revelation take place before our very eyes. These are fascinating times, guys. Fascinating. But we can't lose our minds. Okay, I love my paranormal cryptozoology. This is a new one here. Let's see. This is a new bit of footage of a Bigfooter. I may have showed y'all this last week. Let me think. It's 20th? No, this is new. Okay, this is new. It's 24th. All right, check this out. Let's get a little background here. Tell you what's going on. Two guys fishing for gar way down in San Benito, Texas. Say what they believe. At first, they thought it was a dog. Let's take a look at this. So here we go. These guys are fishing for gar. Gar are vicious, scary-looking fish, by the way. They're fishing for gar way down South Texas. Now check this out.
Okay, so it's something, a dog or what? ¡Oh, la verga! Okay, so it's something, a dog or what? ¡Oh, la verga! I got it on video, wait. Yeah. Okay, so it's something, a dog or what? ¡Oh, la verga!
There you go, man. That's about the best footage she's got of it. The rest of it's them just kind of talking and whatnot. But I think Thinker Thunker may have slowed it down here some. Let's see.
Video, and if they want to see a part.
There we go. It's a little slowed down. We'll watch. It's on the Texas-Mexico border here, and it stands up. There it is. And of course, who knows? Somebody's setting things up. Is this all just a sham, right? Could it be something real? I don't know. But that's on Thinker Thunker. He does a lot, mainly any kind of YouTube, or not you, sorry, any kind of Bigfoot or a Yeti type footage. He's really in Dogman footage, Mothman. If you like that kind of crazy type stuff, check out Thinker Thunker. All right. What's this? Oh, okay. Then one of those things I just found going down that Q rabbit hole. They were showing all these, the last week, celebrities are putting a lot of videos out where they're freaking out, they're crying, they're being weird. Some people, again, think it has to do with all these people. Also, a lot of them think that it has to do with them running out of adrenochrome. It's another one of those rabbit holes, okay? There's a whole thread with this Q thing where the celebrities are freaking out now because they're out of adrenochrome. because of the shutdown and all this other stuff. I know that sounds kind of crazy, I know, but anyway, this is a guy named Josh Gad. You may recognize him. He's been in movies and stuff. He's a Hollywood celeb. Anyway, I just figured I'd play this for you. Why not? I told you when you watch the show, sometimes it's the random.
Cried for a second. And I was going to do it by myself, and then I thought, you know what? It's important for everybody to understand that we're all going through so much uncertainty right now. We're going to get through it. And it's hard, and I'm emotional because I hate seeing our kids deprived of their normal lifestyles and not being able to understand why all of this is happening so quickly. But I'm also emotional because of all of the incredible things that so many of you out there are doing on a daily basis. And I know it's a struggle right now for so many people. And I just wanted to say I love you all, and I'm thinking of you all, and we'll get through this.
Like I said, guys, I don't know this guy. I don't know if he's a Hollywood pedo or if he's involved in SRA or anything like that. But people are showing, again, a lot of examples of a lot of these celebs coming out the last week or so. This happened 5 days ago, of them crying, being emotional, talking about being in it together. Most people assume it has to do with the C virus, but some people think it has to do with this, pedos being arrested in Hollywood, loss of adrenochrome, etc. I'm giving you all the different angles I'm seeing. I'm not telling you I believe in all this stuff necessarily. I'm just putting it out there for you. You know what I mean? Think for ourselves, right? Okay, this is more of this goofball. Kenneth Copeland, man, one of the most just insane videos I've seen in a while had to do with Kenneth Copeland. About a month ago, I had it here on one of the shows. He was at his airport, and a young lady from Inside Edition, I believe it was, approached him with the camera crew, had about 4 minutes with him, and really busted his balls, I got to say. And I'm okay with seeing people like this getting taken down. These are some of the worst people out there. It's because of people like, I believe, because of people like Kenneth Copeland and other, these goofy TV Christian preachers. That's why there's so many cool people out there in the world that could know God, could know Jesus, because they would see it something completely different, but they just won't even give it a chance because all they see in their minds are these freaking goofballs, guys like Kenneth Copeland and freaking TBN, Trinity Broadcast Network. Remember some of that stuff? I remember growing up with seeing my grandma would watch some of that, and I could never stand TBN as a child. And even a young adult, these people seemed so goofy and weird. And I remember trying to rectify in my mind with, wait, this is what I am. I'm a Christian too. And that's what a Christian is. I don't like these people. I don't trust these people. I don't want to be these people, so on that level, I understand a lot of people in the world that just won't look into Jesus or God or the Bible, because the first thing a lot of them think of is this programming we've all been conditioned with for years, these goofy TV preachers who certainly don't know Jesus. They don't act like it, right? Anyway, here's some Kenneth Copeland.
This coronavirus is faith in its ability to hurt you or kill you. The fear of what are we going to do? I'm getting laid off at work. Hey, your job's not your source. If it is, you're in trouble. Jesus is your source. Whatever you do right now, don't you stop tithing. Don't you stop sowing offerings.
He's begging for more money for the churches, just so you know. This man recently bought a massive private jet. That's what that interview is all about. And he's got tons of them and all the money you could ever imagine, these people. It blows me away because we're not that person. I don't like to bring back old stories of myself all the time, but some of y'all that have been with me for years know In the past on my channel alone, I've given away $1,000. Twice I gave away $500 to someone who really needed it here on the channel. And I'm just showing you an example. I know a lot of you out there do a lot of the same. In fact, any of you supporting my work are doing that. Thank you. Seriously, thank you, man. But so I've done my share of that. That's just a couple examples, but I've done a lot of that stuff as well. And I think about, if I had that kind of money, what if y'all had this kind of money, these multi-million dollars? One of the first things I think of is, how can I give it to people? How can I give it back to people? How can I put this in work for other people and bless others quickly? That's the first thought in my mind. In Costa Rica, man, I remember y'all heard this back one of my Catching Up with KJ shows, talking about one of the girls that worked on the property I was living on, the second place I was living. And one day I just gave her all the money in my wallet I had. I just saw her walking by. I knew she needed it. I said, God wanted me to give this to you. Jesus loves you. And, that was it. I was bawling. She was bawling. It was insane. But I've done a lot of stuff like that myself. I know a lot of you do that kind of thing as well. So I'm just saying, man, we know better, right? We know better. But these people to me are monsters in so many ways. Activist life ends in tragic suicide. This one's pretty crazy here. Let me see. Derek Soberall was one of those guys who was always obsessed with whatever he was obsessed about. G20, he was all in. Demonstrations about homelessness, he was on the front lines. When Occupy Toronto took over St. James Park, he was there 24/7. Then along came the virus. He just couldn't let it go, said his devastated mom, Judy. We tried to let him relax or tell him to relax, but he was really upset about it. We already know what we should know from this, right, guys? We've already talked about this. No fear in Christ. No fear in a relationship with the Lord. None. So much so it pushed him over the edge. The 40-year-old's life ended in a horrific suicide. This story is as dark as they come, and it's understandable if you don't read on. I'd also like to mention at this point that the suicide prevention line is all this. You see the number there. Witnesses describe a horrific scene at 8:45 a.m. Tuesday. A man walking at Dundas and Jarvis streets, literally on fire. He entered a convenience store, took a knife from the deli counter, and repeatedly stabbed himself. People described Toronto police responding with their guns drawn for a call for a man with a knife. They say the man was tasered by police and collapsed on the sidewalk where they tried in vain to save him. An ambulance was called and the man was transported to St. Michael's Hospital for treatment, said the province's Special Investigations Unit. The man later succumbed to his injuries at hospital and was pronounced dead. Turns out the man was Derek Soberall. He was a neighbor, a family man, land defender, protester, and believed the C-19 virus shutdown was an established conspiracy plot, said community organizer Susan Gapka. She later told me his spirit was alive with fight for a better world, and he went out in a fashion which informed his experience. It's heartbreaking. He had 2 boys, ages 2 and 3, at home and lived with his girlfriend, Savannah. He loved his boys so much and his girlfriend too, said his mom, but the C-virus situation seemed to push him over the edge. So much so he dropped by to see Judy and his dad, Rick, the night before. He's always been affectionate, but this time more so. He was saying how much he loved us, she said. He also left a note for Savannah and his boys to wake up to. It's all a punch in the gut. I met Derek during the time of the G20 and stayed in touch with him. I can't think of a nicer person who is involved in so many anti-establishment causes. He was always smiling, said his mom. Everybody loved Derek. True on both counts. He was so friendly that I always teased he was less activist and perhaps more an undercover police officer or CSIS agent. The reason we nicknamed him Sarge. But every time we would think he was on the job, he'd be involved in some scuffle with police who would have him on the ground in handcuffs. There's a picture of him. Every time he was arrested for protest, I would inquire, why don't you settle down? Stop taking on battles you can't win and have a family. He actually listened. My last email from him in 2019 was one with pictures of his family, including one with superstar Fergie of Black Eyed Peas fame. And she's always doing those Illuminati symbols too. I'm just saying, folks, I'm putting it out there. I can't help it. I've seen it. Fergie's one of them. She's definitely one of the sellouts to that system. He talked about how he was getting along with the police. Hey, Joe, hope you're doing well and are in good spirits. The people who are the most respectful to my family have by far been the police. Our family goes for breakfast Mondays at this great little family-run restaurant in Dundas Street called Ontario Restaurant, where a lot of the cops go to eat. Some cops have even poured my coffee a few times. He was doing so well. Then along came the C virus, it says. All right. There you have it. People losing their minds, going, cuckoo, cuckoo. You don't have to. I mentioned this on the last live show I did with Jeff C. If you haven't had a chance, please check that out. When trauma-based mind control goes global. Back with the numbers, my last video I did. I got a few more coming out, guys. I'm working on quite a bit right now. I've got some shorter ones and a couple longer ones. I'm going to start doing some shorter videos finally. I always do these long, big ones, but got a couple short videos I want to finish up with this week. Because I know more people at home. I'll try to get more stuff out, all that. But with the numbers, my last video had to do with the number 33 connected with the C virus, so I know it's a part of the situation. Okay, we understand that. And then we have this story here, close-up photo of Trump's notes shows he crossed out Corona and replaced it with Chinese virus, but that wasn't the story for me. It was the fact that they're showing us the 1133, which is 2 of the 3 master numbers, and then that just begs more questions for me. You may wonder, is he a part of it with the 33? Or is he showing that he understands it and fighting against it with the 11? Or are we just making something out of nothing here? Check this out. This is some of them spring breakers you've been hearing about in America that just don't give an F about the C virus.
I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying. I've been waiting. We've been waiting for Miami spring break for a while. About 2 months we've had this trip planned. 2-3 months. I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying. I've been waiting. We've been waiting for Miami spring break for a while. About 2 months we've had this trip planned. 2-3 months. We're just out here having a good time. Whatever happens, happens.
It's really messing up with my spring break. What is there to do here other than go to the bars or the beach, and they're closing all of it? It's really messing up. I think they're blowing it way out of proportion. I think it's doing way too much.
Doing us bad. We need a refund. This virus ain't that serious. It's serious. It's more serious things out there like hunger and poverty. We need to address that.
Yeah, we planned this a long time ago, and it was kind of up in the air if we were still go, but we're here. I just turned 21 this year, so I'm here to party, so it's kind of disappointing, but we're just making the most of it. We met these other people in our little Airbnb spot, so we're just hanging out with them and trying to get drunk before everything closes.
It sucks, but we're going to make the best of it. We're enjoying ourselves. It sucks, and I'm from New Orleans, so this really sucks. However, we're going to enjoy ourselves. We having day parties all day. It's my birthday, St. Patrick's Day. Turn up.
We're just trying to roll with the boy. We're just living for the moment. We're just going to do what happens when it happens. When stuff closes, we're going to do it when it closes. But besides that, we're just trying to have the best trip we can.
Thoughts? What do you think about that? America, F yeah. Woman breaks down after shortage of diapers amid the C virus panic buying.
So all you crazy people buying out all the diapers? How am I supposed to all you crazy people buying out all the diapers? To all you crazy people buying out all the diapers? How am I supposed to diaper my child if I can't afford to buy 20 at a time like you can?
First thoughts, right? First thoughts. And it's not that maybe she is a prayerful lady and just wanted to make a point. That's understandable, and I always go back to the prayer, but I want to add to that again. It's not this idea of just some lazy sitting around. Well, I'll just throw it to God. Hey, God, knock, knock. You there? Hey, take care of this, okay? Cool. I'm going to keep playing my video game and just chilling because I know you got this, right? High five. Yeah, it's not like that. We have to put action, behind our faith and everything as well. But anyway, I'm rambling. I do this. Wanted to share that. Okay, check this. This is a you're Chinese. Why did you bring Corona to America situation? Wow. New York subway. Check this out.
It's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for protecting me because human beings shouldn't have to act like you. You know what? Calm down.
You are the motherfucker to the chin. You are the motherfucker. Listen, if you think like
No. Back down.
Don't do that.
We're all on
Don't take my picture.
I'm not taking your picture.
I saw you. If you're taking my picture.
Please back up. I didn't bother you.
My picture.
Are you bothering?
Don't intervene.
You need to calm down. This is
No,
not the
if you're taking my picture, I'll take yours too.
I guess that's that. But just, you know, you're Chinese. You're bad. You know, we don't want any of that either. Xenophobia and all this, right? But, you know, that's just another element of this. It's another possible, it can be another arm of control if we allow it to be. Because, you know, anybody in control that wants this control, wants to use anything they can to keep control over the populace. So this could be one of those elements they enjoy, perhaps seeing pop up here in response to the C virus, us turning against each other in that respect. Or, ooh, you're Chinese, you get away, you know, it's your fault, you did it, you know, all that kind of stuff. So here's another good. I told you I had a lot of clips for you tonight, man. There's some golden ones this week. I thought local reporter gets cussed out while covering people panic buying groceries on the C virus pandemic. Check this out.
Trucks are coming and going. Okay, now there's somebody who is being number. We'll talk to you guys a little bit later.
It's your fault that people are freaking out here. You all are the ones that are at fault. This is no worse than the flu.
In the morning.
I'm reacting to other people.
No, you don't have to react.
Okay, bye.
Well, no, call your
fault. Your editors.
Thank you.
You're all the scum of the earth. You know, and I don't even blame the Chinese. I don't blame them at all. They did everything right. It's you all that are hyping things up. Goodbye. Have a good morning.
Stay classy.
And that reminds me, it takes me back to the footage we were watching from Hawaii, right? These people pushing a lie, you know, pushing hysteria. Not cool. All right. People are already on edge. It's just going to happen naturally with everything happening right now. Again, these are unprecedented times, guys. We're living some really important, beyond important aspects of our history. Some may say in years, they'll be talking about this years from now. I'm like, do we have years left? This is really big stuff happening here. But this reminds me of the Hawaii situation. You know, you get the citizens, which I love to see the citizens calling out the BS. That's great. Nonviolent, right? Just standing up and saying, no, I'm not going to stand for this. You're lying. You're pushing, you know, this agenda. You're trying to freak people out and make them scared. That's so not cool, right? Whoa, I told you guys it's going to be a long night, man. I still got quite a bit to go, and it's been about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I hope you're doing good. I hope you're buckled up. We still got a way to go. I just want to thank you again real quick for being here. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you. I really like the community. I like the group. I appreciate you guys. I get great messages, great shares, great clips, great ideas for videos, everything else, man. So just thank you. Thanks to the moderators. Another huge shout out as well to the Patreon and PayPal supporters. Guys, thank you, man. You're keeping me floating, and I really appreciate you. And I got so much more work coming your way, more videos, more shows, of course. And just thank you. You're allowing me to continue what I love, and I just appreciate you. So thanks. Pennsylvania woman loses her S and curses out kids for hugging in a park amid the C virus pandemic. I've been looking for more of these kind of videos personally. I've been thinking we've seen a lot of this kind of stuff. Check this out.
I was hugging my best
They
friend.
ought to be ashamed of you. They ought to be ashamed.
Ashamed?
Fuck home.
It's a hug.
What?
It's a hug.
She gave her a hug. That's not a fucking hug. Is that how you hug your mom?
Something happened with her and her boyfriend, and she needed comfort. She needed comfort.
Don't fucking talk back.
She needed comfort.
Don't fucking talk back to
I'm
me.
sorry, but I don't
Don't
deserve.
say sorry.
I don't
Shut
deserve to
up.
be cursed at.
Shut up.
I'll call the cops right now.
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Do it. All right, right now.
Go home.
Right now. I'll call
This
the
is
cops.
why we're under quarantine. Don't fucking touch each other.
Right now. I'll call the
Call
cops.
him. Call him. You look at the right tag?
I'll go to.
I got
your
the
tag right
fucking
now.
police tag.
Yep.
Yep. On my thing.
Right here. 911.
Do it.
Want me to call?
Yeah.
Want me to call?
Do it.
Don't charge me.
Do it. Do it.
Don't charge me.
Do it.
Don't charge me.
Do it.
That's
You wanna
assault.
see the sheriff
Stop.
badge in my fucking car?
Stop assaulting.
Go home.
I'm not assaulting.
I'm nowhere near you, motherfucker.
You just charged me.
Go home, all
You
y'all.
just charged me.
I didn't charge you.
Yeah, you did. You did. I'm here. 911.
Do it.
Want me to call?
Yeah.
Want me to call?
Do it.
Don't charge me.
Do it. Do it.
Don't charge me.
Do it.
Don't charge me.
Do it.
That's
You wanna see the
assault.
sheriff
Stop.
badge in my fucking car?
Stop assaulting.
Go home.
I'm not assaulting.
I'm nowhere near you, motherfucker.
You just charged me.
Go home, all
You
y'all.
just charged me.
I didn't charge you.
Yeah, you did. You did. I'm calling. I don't care.
Call them.
Hello? Should I call?
Call.
Hey, don't leave. Hey, we're at
What do you think about that?
some lady just
I mean, the lady, you know, she, to begin with, probably shouldn't have been saying the dirty words around the little kids, right? Dropping the dirty language there around the children's not such a good idea. First comment says, white trash fake cop, B word. I hate using race, but that's all Discus is race baiting B words by B words, mostly white boys, keyboard warriors. Jeepers. Someone's angry. Someone needs a nap. When I read stuff like that, I immediately think someone needs a nap. Calm down. For March 19th, digital certificates to track vaccines. Check this out. This is, I think this is from an AMA. Let me see it. Yeah, this is from a Bill Gates Ask Me Anything that took place on March 18th. It says, what changes are we going to have to make to how businesses operate to maintain our economy while providing social distancing? This is Bill Gates says, the question of which businesses should keep going is tricky. Certainly food supply and the health system. We'll need water, electricity, and the internet. Supply chains for critical things need to be maintained. Countries are still figuring out what to keep running. Eventually, we'll have some digital certificates. He's also called these digital tattoos to show who has recovered or been tested recently, or when we have a vaccine who has received it. How about that, huh? We already know this is, I mean, an obvious element to what's taking place here is moving us towards some kind of a chipping or even a vaccine with something in it that we wouldn't want inside of us. I don't think I've had a vaccine since I was a child. You know, I was forced with them from my parents, but I don't remember even having one much as an adult, right? I don't know. I can't remember the last time I had a vaccine. I don't do the flu shot. I did the flu shot as a teenager, and I got sick, and that freaked me out the rest of my life on flu shots. So I was good on that, but I can't remember if I've ever taken anything else. As a medic in the military, in the Coast Guard, we even lied. I mean, a few friends of mine, I know it's not nice to lie, but they wanted our DNA. All of us were supposed to, it was a Coast Guard wide thing. I think it was an Armed Forces wide thing, but they wanted all of us to submit our DNA. And since I was a medic at the time, we were the ones taking most people's DNA as they came in and everything, doing mouth swabs and stuff. A group of us wound up kind of BSing on each other's paperwork, and we never gave our swabs. So just throwing that out there. I'm not telling you it's a good idea to lie and be deceitful, but even back then, I knew it was a bad idea for the government to have my DNA. Anyway, there you have it. Little Billy Gates. Little Billy Gates. This is all companies owned by George Soros in the United States and abroad. This is an interesting find someone made here. He owns Pharmatech Inc., Wuxi, which is in Wuhan, and they do small molecule drug discovery and research services. And it's at 666 Gaoxin Road, East Lake High Tech Development Zone in Wuhan, China. That was interesting. Anytime I find that the number of the beast around something like this, especially associated with somebody who so obviously is a little demon himself, George Soros. So 666 Gaoxin Road, small molecule drug discovery and research services in Wuhan. George Soros connection there. Illinois news station mistakenly airs election results day before primary, showing Joe Biden victory. They always come out and try to say, we've seen this so many times before. We saw it with 9/11. Remember that? And oftentimes when these things happen, they say that it's a test they do. They have these scenarios set up for both people in case they win, whatever else. But I don't know about all that. Here, check this out. Oh, crap. Couldn't be played. See if this one will play. Let me see. Is there a clip? Here we go.
Today's date is Monday, the day before the Illinois election, and yet Channel 3 in Illinois accidentally put this on during Price is Right. What's your conspiracy theory?
Interesting, huh? Monica Lewinsky. She was involved in the Clinton scandal. Remember the infamous blue dress? Monica Lewinsky urges her 750,000 followers to send doo-doo to the White House. She looks nutballs. The former White House intern who had sexual relations with President Bill Clinton in the Oval Office has finally weighed in on the White House response to the coronavirus. Hi! Send your doo-doo to the White House. She looks nuts. Monica Lewinsky asked her 750,000 Twitter followers to mail doo-doo to the White House. They've now decided they will test everyone for the C virus. Please send a stool sample to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, she wrote. Cool. There you go. Hi! Hi! Nancy Pelosi proposes 1,400-page C virus bill stuffed with special interest goodies. And that's just a disgrace, too. I mean, I just want to throw this out there as well. There's a lot of people obviously hurting right now. Trump and the Senate are trying to pass this bill for, what is it, $2 trillion at this point? I'm not sure. Last I heard $1 trillion, then I heard $2 trillion. You're going to pass this thing. It's going to give every American citizen like $1,200 paycheck, I believe. All right. Obama did something similar with cash for cars. Bush gave out $500 at one point. Look that up, guys. I think Bush gave everybody back $500 at one point. I was still in the military when that happened, but I remember getting my check. So Bush gave everyone $500. This is after 9/11 and all that, right? Or was it before? Or am I wrong? Look it up, guys. But I'm pretty sure it was around that time that Bush gave everybody $500. Obama had something like with the cash for cars. But now we got this, which is fine. And I think it's okay. The whole money system, we know the whole thing's rigged. The Fed Reserve, we know fiat currency. They can just keep creating money. They loan it to banks. Banks loan it to us. Then they put interest on it. So they're getting money on top of money that they never really had. You see how that works, right? That's the basic idea. That's a fiat currency. So, and we're looking at a reset. I mean, most likely that's where all this stuff's heading anyway. We see a lot of talk with, the marks, the mark of the beast type talk. They're not calling it that, but we see a lot of that coming out as well. So we kind of see where we're heading, where some people want us to head. Anyway, Pelosi on top of this. So, the Senate's trying to pass this. Trump wants to pass this. It's going to help out the small businesses as well. Going to help out with taxes. Going to give a little relief to some people out here in America and give everybody a check. Which, why not, right? Throw me a check. I'll take it. Honestly, whatever check I get from them, I'm putting right into preps. That's just what I'm doing, for real. You may call me crazy. And hey, some people may say, we're not going to be here. We're going to get raptured away. I ride the fence on all of it. I'm not, I see clearly both sides of that argument. My prayer is always that, Lord, if there is a catching way, I hope I go. Please let me go. If not, I know you're going to be here with me and guide me through whatever we got to do. You know what I mean? So just in case, I still have my preps. Joseph had his preps. There's nothing wrong with having some preps, but I'll take whatever. If they give me $1,200, I'm going to get some preps. That's what I'm doing. Food and water. I've already got weapons and stuff. So I'm just going to take into the world. I'm just going to take Chinese stars and nunchucks and see how I do. Hopefully I'll do all right. Nancy Pelosi proposes 1,400-page C virus bill stuffed with special interest goodies, and she did. This is such a demon, such a little monster. I'm not going to go into all this stuff, but it was just a bunch of garbage. So they tried to pack this bill that should be for the American people and small business and just overall for the people, right? And the checks and everything for the people. They're stuffing this with stuff for LGBT, for Planned Parenthood, for just all this other stuff, right? So anyway, really cool cloud. I just want to share this with you. Check out this cool cloud. This is really cool. You're gonna like it.
Another amazing natural phenomena, or Mother Earth is pissed and she's ready to fight back. I wouldn't blame her, to be honest, would you? Check this out.
Pretty crazy, huh? Big old cloud wall. Love it.
Every day. But I have this compilation of
Here's some of that footage of the locust swarms taking place around the world right now. I showed you guys some of this last week. There's some more. Gross. Big pockets of them. Man, these things get big. I guess it was a few weeks ago I showed you guys that video of somebody holding one up. It's like the size of a dude's palm. Things are massive. They look meaty. Anyway, some more. Interesting, all this stuff's happening, right? Plagues, pestilence, trumpets. The trumpets falling out of the hands of statues. Oh, okay, this is great. Chet Hanks, back again. Can never have too much Chet Hanks. I've said that forever. Chet Hanks, weird IG video. David Spade also made a strange video about Tom Hanks. Back to that kind of Tom Hanks, weird kind of Q-thready type stuff. Anyway, we know about Chet. I've shown you guys him on the show a few times before. The kid's got the massive Illuminati all-seeing eye pyramid tattoo on his chest. His father's been involved in tons of movies and TV shows associated with, like the first TV show he was in, Bosom Buddies. They put him in a dress. He was also in the movies that had to do with, gosh, what's the name of those books? I can't remember the name. Dan Brown. Yeah, he's been in some movies from They were created out of books from Dan Brown, who's a Freemason. So he knows the symbols. He was in that movie, Dragnet, a long time ago, where they wound up, the bad guys were in Hollywood, and they were a group called, I can't remember the name of the group. Oh, they were called Pagan, People Against Goodness and Normalcy. And it was a satanic cult and all this. I'm just saying, the point is that the references are there. He understands this. He sees it. He probably knows more about it than most people, I would think, especially considering his son has the same kind of symbolism on his chest. So a lot of people have been talking about this Tom Hanks stuff lately, thinking he might be arrested down in Australia. There's a picture of him and his wife in front of a door with a barcode on it, and people are saying that that's a prison type thing. Again, guys, I'm not saying it's real or not, but this is what we hang out for, right? We talk about it all. We put it all out there. So look into it for yourselves as well. His son, that's how we first found out that Tom Hanks and his wife apparently or allegedly had the C virus. His son came out on Instagram with the tattoo prominent on his chest talking about it. And that's kind of what set this whole thing off. Anyway, here's kind of a follow-up. Apparently, Chet's been reading the comments, and he doesn't like him too much.
Hey guys, I'm really stressed out right now.
Give me a second, I'll refresh it.
Hey guys, I'm really stressed out right now. It's been coming to my attention that a lot of Trump supporters have been figuring out the truth about me and my family, you know, being in the, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know what to do right now because everything's starting to come to light. I mean, these extremely reliable websites like 4chan, 8chan have been exposing shit. And it's like, if somebody wrote it on the internet, you know it must be true. And it is true. So it's like, I don't know how this is going to affect our whole New World agenda. Ever since The Simpsons predicted my dad being the spokesperson for the coronavirus, even though they didn't predict anything, it's been troublesome, to say the least. I guess I'm just going to have to work extra hard at my human sacrifices. I'm late for one right now, and I'm a little hungry, so I might eat someone's pineal gland on the way. But just know that we're watching you, and if you're talking shit on the internet, you're going to be the first people sent to the FEMA camps. So,
there you go. Excuse me. What do you think about that? When I see them do stuff like this, I always think back to how much these, quote, conspiracies have been mocked by major corporations. Progressive Insurance did a whole series of commercials mocking so-called conspiracy theories and theorists. Pizza Hut did them. Remember that? Taco Bell had a whole bunch of them. Even Denver Airport, they have a little gargoyle out there that mocks all the conspiracies as people walk by. It's a comedian actually working there. I don't know if they're still doing it. We saw this a few years ago. There's even a bunch of commercials, a whole new thing they're doing out there in a DIA, Denver International Airport. Not just commercials, but also advertising. They have all these ads making fun of all the conspiracies about it, right? So, you know, this is what they do, right? I would think. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily the case here, but typically we'll see mockery in cases like this. Yeah, like they'll mock the people. Anyway, I remember there were some other kind of interesting things I stumbled on in this particular thread on Reddit. Let's see here. There's a video. Oh, here's a couple. This is a bit of a doom break. All right. So sometimes we like to do kind of funny doom breaks around here. I think this might qualify. So check this out. This is called, he explains it. I'll just let you hear it from him. Check this out.
It's getting real. I was outside here a while ago, and this crackhead girl come walking up the driveway here. Walks up, kind of snuck up on me, scared me a little bit. And she told me that she'd give me a blowjob and a donut for a roll of toilet paper. Well, I guess she come off the parkway, I don't know, but when she left, she went right over there between Matt's fence and the barn and was headed over towards Justin's house. So I just warning y'all, It's getting crazy around here.
But bump. I know it's a little adult, okay, but hey, sometimes we have some fun, right? Let's scroll down here. There's another one I wanted to show you. Okay, this one is it's a good one. Conspiracy Rewind. The following Fox and NBC Live news coverage is from the crash site of United Flight 93 on 911. The reporters were not following a script at the time. The footage was never seen again on television. Buckle up. This is some good stuff. I would even suggest going and finding this video as I did and downloading it to computer. 911 UA Flight 93 banned newscast. This is one to hold on to. Watch this. Remember, the idea is a plane just crashed. There should be stuff everywhere, right?
The debris here is spread over a 3 to 4 mile radius, which has now been completely sealed off and is being treated, according to the FBI, as a crime scene. Governor Tom Ridge made some remarks earlier at a press conference. He had flown over the site. He said the emergency response here was immediate. He also said, and I don't know whether or not you all are able to see pictures of this, but this is one of those cases where the pictures really do tell the story, that sort of the most horrifying
There's nothing there. There's supposed to be plane wreckage.
scene is how little debris is visible. There is a large crater in the ground, and I'm hoping that you all are seeing it as I'm talking about it, but that's really all you see is a large crater in the ground and just tiny, tiny bits of debris. There's been at least one report that the investigators out there, and there are hundreds of them, as I said tonight, have found nothing larger than a phone book.
I want to get quickly to Chris Kanicki. He's a photographer with the Pittsburgh affiliate of Fox affiliate. He was back there just a couple of minutes ago, and Chris, I've seen the pictures. It looks like there's nothing there except for a hole in the ground.
Basically, that's right. The only thing you could see from where we were was a big gouge in the earth and some broken trees. We could see some people walking around in the area, but from where we could see, there wasn't much left.
Any large pieces of debris at all?
No, there was nothing that you could distinguish that a plane had crashed there.
There was nothing that you could distinguish that a plane had crashed there. You ever heard of it? What happened to it? Is it in that big hole in the ground? I think that's the idea.
Smoke, fire?
Nothing. It was absolutely quiet. It was actually very quiet. Nothing going on down there. No smoke, no fire. Just a couple of people walking around. They look like part of the NTSB crew walking around looking at the pieces.
How big would you say that hole was?
From my estimates, I would guess it was probably about 20 to 15 feet long and probably about 10 feet long, or 10 feet.
20 to 15 feet long, probably 10 feet wide. Does that sound like an airliner just crashed into that? I'm just saying. But for real, guys, that's one you might want to hold on to and save. 911 UA Flight 93 banned newscast. Highly recommend you save this one. That's one of those types that, may disappear. I wouldn't be surprised. Get them while they're hot. Tom Hanks' wife, Rita Wilson, raps Snotty by Nature. Oh, we looked at that earlier, didn't we? Here's the newest one from Rita Wilson. All right, let me see if... I feel like it'd be easier just to go look at but I want to show you some of the comments here too. Anyway, this is what it says here. Rita Wilson solo once again. These are Q people doing this. This is part of that Q stuff. Rita Wilson solo once again, telling your friends to text her at 310-299-9260. I think people have actually been calling this number. You probably can too. I mean, she tells you to, for updates on, quote, what is going to happen. And then it says hashtag the Great Awakening is before us. Anyway, check this out. I may have to restart it or refresh it. Yeah, I think I got to refresh it. Here we go.
Hi, guys. It's me, and I just wanted to tell you something.
So tell us.
I am going to give you my phone number.
Oh, shoot.
And
Sorry, you
can
can't hear
text
this.
me,
Give me a
and
second.
I'm
Let me make sure the volume's up here on this. Okay, give me a second. Sorry about that. I'll make sure you can hear this.
Hi, guys. It's me, and I just wanted to tell you something. I am going to give you my phone number. And you can text me, and I'm going to text you back. That way I can let you know what I'm up to and where I'm going to be, and maybe tell you some things that are happening before they happen. So feel free to text me to my cell phone number. It is me. I will get it to you, and I will get back to you in due time, because I'm going to be probably spending a lot of time on text. Anyways, the number to text me at is 310-299-9260. 310-299-9260. Text you soon. Bye.
What do you think? You guys going to text her? What's the number again? 310-299-9260. It'd be interesting to see what happens. How crazy would it be that she just randomly would maybe call you after you text her, and maybe you have a conversation, and maybe she tells you everything? Well, that narrative that, hey, yes, we are satanic pedophiles, and we're freaking out because we're out of adrenochrome. That's what all these hidden messages are for. I don't know if she'd do that. Doubt it. Highly doubt it. But look at some comments here. She's appealing to her cabal friends so she can tell them what's going on. Someone's been crying. She does have fangs. I just saw a Gail King tweet. She's singing bad. Has anyone called her? She's going to tell us about some things that are happening before they happen? Question mark. Anyway.
Hi, guys.
There you go.
And I just
Get your phone number to your new best friend, Rita Wilson. Okay, this one. This one discussed today on introduce resolution. Okay, this is interesting. A senator just introduced a resolution to investigate and hold the Communist Party accountable for the C virus. This could be very interesting. I think this will be one to watch. Check this out. Since day one, the Chinese Communist Party intentionally lied to the world about the origin of this pandemic. The CCP was aware of the reality of the virus as early as December, but ordered laboratories to destroy samples and forced doctors to keep silent. It's time for an international investigation into the role their cover-up played in the spread of this devastating pandemic. The CCP must be held for account for what the world is now suffering. Senator Josh Hawley. Be kind of cool to see how that goes, right? Right? It says Pelosi folds. Pelosi delays her coronavirus bill, says we'll try to pass Senate's. I don't know why I have this up there. It's probably just news I was looking at earlier. But anyway, I guess that's another sign. Hopefully they'll actually pass the bill. That was from 10 hours ago. So it's probably been even updated since then. Oh, let's see. Oh, this is more of that kind of Q type stuff right there. They're talking about I'll just tell you what it is. There's a video Madonna put out, another video she put out, where she's dancing and saying, we're all out of pasta. It's time for fried fish. And if you go back to that kind of Pizzagate stuff, remember that pasta was a term for, I think, little boys, right? For children. So they're all out of pasta. Some people are associating with this with the SRA, satanic ritual abuse, and the kitty rings and the pedo stuff they're all into. And that fried fish has to do with Albert Fish, who is a well-known serial killer and child killer, actually, and child molester from many years ago. I think about 100 years ago, not 1820, but or 1820. What am I saying? Anyway, look him up, Albert Fish. Maybe I think it was 1920, so like 80. Was it 80 years ago? Yeah, I guess it was about 100 years ago. Yeah, my bad. Look it up. I think it was around 1920. But Albert Fish, famous serial killer, mainly known for eating children, killing, molesting, and then eating them. So some people are connecting that with what Madonna's new video is about her saying, we're all out of pasta. It's time for fried fish. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just telling you what's out there, guys. A lot of people are looking into this. But here's something I thought was kind of interesting. Here's a guy talking about just waking up to the child stuff, like how bad it is with how these, what these people are doing with children and adrenochrome and things like this. And I thought this was really touching. So check this out.
That's just very touching. Don't think I'm soft. I mean, I've been crying, but I'm happy and I'm sad. Like, I'm happy because it could all be over. Like, everything: separation, racism, division, hunger, homelessness, wars. I'm trying not to get too happy about that because that's crazy. But then I'm sad because if it is true, there's gonna be a lot of people on the planet hurt. We've been talking about this for years. There's gonna be a lot of people on the planet who won't be able to understand it. What is it called? Cognitive dissonance or something? It's gonna break their heart. Their celebrity, their role model, their people, it's gonna break their soul because some of the stuff people can't even think about, and it's gonna be pushed down their faces. So I'm very scared for the people that just don't know. They just really live a humble, simple life. They don't think about the stuff that we think about and worry about stuff that we think about. So if you've ever been called a conspiracy theorist or crazy like me,
Sure.
own it right now and just hold on to them people during this great awakening, because there's going to be a lot of sadness.
Okay, sorry guys. Let me get that screen back. There we go. So there you go. I wanted to share that. Thought that was nice. Thought there was some more stuff down here. Guess not. Anyway, there you go. There you have it. Okay, lady diagnosed with C virus spitting on fruit and produce in a grocery store. Not cool. Wanted to share this though, because it goes to show you that no matter what this is, if this turns out to stick around for a long time, if it's another thing that comes after that's a mutation or whatever it is, there's always going to be elements of humanity, elements of our society that are truly sick and demented, and one might say severely demonically oppressed or possessed, that are going to do really gross things like this, and it's unfortunate. And there's some people just want to see everything burn. We saw that with the movie Joker. That was the siren call to, to all the destroyers out there, the nihilists, the atheists. In its own way, it was a genius movie too. I thought. I mean, I'm a film student. I went to film school. Some people go, "How can you still like a movie when it's all from devil?" It's like, well, there's layers there. It's different, and sometimes, God, the devil has nothing good to offer anybody. So the devil doesn't give people acting talent or writing talent or music talent and all these other wonderful talents. He doesn't give you that. He can take it from you, pervert it. And that's why you see the good girl gone bad type motif all the time at work in Hollywood. And a lot of this is associated with Disney, of course. We've even seen it with some little boys that come out of Disney. But they always start them off as pure and even Christian and innocent and sweet. And they pervert them before your very eyes in public and ultimately make them like incredibly demonic and openly demonic and wicked and evil, right? Anyway, check this out.
You're resisting arrest.
That's so wrong. And then there's this story. YouTuber who licked public toilet seat now claims he's tested positive for the C virus. The individual featured in this article has now been banned by Twitter. A YouTuber who licked a public toilet seat to raise awareness of the C virus now claims he has tested positive for the C virus. Says, who could have seen that coming? Shawn Mendes posted a video on Twitter where he licks a brown substance believed to be foundation from the toilet seat before saying, "C virus challenge." The clip quickly went viral and has received well over 5 million views. "Man, these people that do anything for clout. Clout's a disease," responded one Twitter user. The day after he posted the toilet video, Mendes tweeted another clip of himself sat in what appears to be a hospital bed. "I tested positive for C virus," he claims. Mendes previously embroiled himself in controversy when he was filmed taking a tub of ice cream from a store freezer, eating some of it, and then putting it back. Oh, it's that kid. Mendes later claimed he received a police visit. Others who pulled the same stunt were arrested. All right, anyway, we get it. That's gross. Germany closes border to Europeans, but migrants still allowed in. Speaks for itself. More of the agenda, right? UFO vid from Spain, uploaded March 23rd. Denivaro Urgaldo. It's a good example of the little shapeshifters, the orbs, and oftentimes they'll come in threes. I've shown you all that examples of that for many years. Check this out.
Segura aqui, Valdo, segura aqui. Deixa eu passar uma teia. Vai filmando tudinho. Eu vou estar lembrado que ele vai. Vou estar aqui longe. Será que viu, Valdo? Tá lembrado que ele vai. Filma. Tem visão? Olha. Será que é esse aqui? Olha lá o bicho. Olha, vai tua direita, é grandão. Será que tá feliz? Não vai. É 3, ó. Mas não consegue abrir, Juventus? Olha, amanhã é 4, ó. Já achei. Não. Não. Não, tu abriu o chuveiro, não. Tu abriu o chuveiro, não. Não sei qual é o chuveiro.
Into this dimension and back out. Right? We've seen this before. This one's real short, quick, weird. I went to this guy's channel called Pimpernel Rapscallion. He's only got 3 subs. He doesn't do any UFO paranormal videos or anything, but I thought this is weird. Anyway, he put this up, said during the C virus lockdown where he's at, he noticed this outside. So make of it what you will. Check this out. I'll play it a few times.
What the hell is that?
Monkey. High five. High five down low. High five.
It's all moving in the same direction, right? Over and over. So I don't know. Now that I look back on it, it's probably, maybe it's a reflection or something. Maybe it's a reflection of like some kind of light thing or something inside his house. I don't know. Okay, that one wasn't that great. Here's another one that's not that great. It looks super fake to me, but it's been presented as if it's from a camera inside a car. And I mean, if this thing is real, it's pretty insane. But I don't know. I could also make an argument for it not being, but watch the footage for yourself. Let's see what they say here. This footage was taken on car camera 2/25/2020 in Russia, Samara, in the Maturin Street, Ovrag, Podpolshikov area. This guy says, I saw it at 12:11 in Dusseldorf, Germany, the exact same UFO. Migraine says, really? Do you have a video of more details? I contacted some researchers. I'll wait till they will make video analysis. Also, I believe that this has seen similar UFO in 2008. It was Mexico and a very popular tourist spot. Dozens of people were filming it. All right, so we'll see. So, maybe they believe it's real, but what do you think? Take a look at this. Watch the little cloud over there, upper right. There's really no audio here either. So you see the camera there, or the numbers at the bottom left. And keep watching the little cloud to the right. Let's see. Okay, now it's around this time. Watch. These people walk by. Now you see the cloud to the right. See that? I mean, it looks like effects to me, right? I don't know. But I mean, they're saying, watch. Watch the cloud to the right as these people walk by. And then it morphs into this. Now watch. It gets weirder. I don't know, man. To me, feels like effects, right? Feels like some kind of fake effects. I've never seen anything like this out of all the years of looking through all this kind of footage. Not to say that it couldn't be real because of that, but I don't know. This feels just kind of fake-ish, doesn't it? Anyway, figured I'd share it either way. This last part, excuse me, kind of goes back to some of that Q stuff. And this is from a video from a YouTube channel called Weekend Warrior. And the video is called Celebs and Corona Part 2 of 2. I watched some of the Part 1, but it's got all this stuff in here. And this is where I found out a lot about this whole kind of Q conspiracy thing. So again, I'm not saying I sign off on all this, but it's something interesting. If you're looking for a new rabbit hole, go to Weekend Warrior. You could check out Celebs and the Corona Part 1 and then Part 2. Here's a small part here I thought was interesting. It says, this is the best thing that could ever happen. The country will shut down in a stepwise manner. People will get themselves prepared. The toilet paper shortage was manufactured to get people thinking and preparing. It's benign. Schools and all mass gatherings will be canceled. Probably around April 1st, there will be martial law with no unnecessary travel. You'll still be able to go to the store, work, doctor, etc. During that time, the rest of the rats will be arrested and the country will have a reset. The C virus will unite Americans as common cause. Good Friday will be the end day and we can all celebrate Easter or Esther or Ishtar. Trump is going to start releasing our money back to us by stopping the payroll tax using the C virus as an excuse. It will be the start of rolling back all taxes. Eventually, it will be the best boomerang of all. We'll get free stuff, free fishing license, free driver license, etc. You get the point. The colleges will be destroyed as we know them because they are going to find out you could have been doing all this learning from home in the first place. The Common Core curriculum will be removed. The famous people infected with C virus are actually being served their indictments, and if they cooperate, they live. If they don't, they die from the virus. How handy is that? Notice one thing peculiar? The NBA, etc., are shutting themselves down, probably due to indictments. It will destroy deep state sports, and once sports recovers, it would be back to competing for greatness like in the old days. No more Illuminati children getting the place on the football teams. It's all going to happen fast with surgical precision. Peace is coming. Prepare to have your minds blown in a good way this time. I'm just presenting to you what a lot of people believe, guys. A lot of people believe this. A lot of people think that we're witnessing a time where we're going to see a lot of justice, right? I assume they're saying this before the Antichrist comes because we see all the symbolism of this and we know the times we're in. But a lot of people believe that that's kind of the time we're entering into, that there really is this great battle taking place. We're going to see a lot of justice and all this. And hey, that'd be great, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know. Is that a preparation for the 1,000-year reign? I'm not sure how that works. Okay. But I'm all for the good news as long as we don't lose track, right, of what really matters and the ultimate end game of everything. And to not be such a part of this kind of Q stuff to where you're okay with martial law, where you just put your hands down and people say, it's Trump, so it's okay. Martial law is cool. Oh, vaccines? Well, it's Trump. He's the hero, right? He's the good guy. So yeah, I'll give him a vaccines. You see what I'm saying? Like that would be my biggest concern with all that. But anyway, that's about that, my friends. It seems that is the last story of the night. So I want to jump over here to the chat room real quick and just say hello. And I hope you guys are all doing good. And man, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate the group, the community. Got videos coming up. I got, like I said, some shorter ones I'm going to work on, but a couple big ones should be finished soon. One on St. John's Pillars, really, really good one. I'm excited to show you guys that. The history of St. John's Pillars and the prophetic pillars at St. John's Cathedral. Thank you once again to the moderators. Huge shout out again to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. If you want to support my work, guys, the shows, the videos, everything else I'm doing, check out the links below. Please become a Patreon or PayPal, whatever you like. Also, you can also support through helping yourself. I have a sponsor this month, my Patriot Supply. There's a link underneath the chat for that as well. Do you want to get some preps for yourself? Under $100 for 2 weeks, under $200 for 4 weeks, for a month. Pretty good offers. You're going to have to wait for a few weeks to get them, though, unfortunately. But if you want to get it, I'd say jump in now. So please check that out if you're interested. Okay, it helps out the channel as well. I always like to end these with a little bit of a prayer, guys. So I'll just say, Heavenly Father, thank you once again so much for the fact we have this platform for all these wonderful people out here. And it's just a place where we can all stay informed and talk about the things happening in this world. I hope through the proper perspectives. I hope people take it the right way. At the end of the day, not to have any fear of the things we're seeing and witnessing and watching, but to have trust and faith in you, Lord, through Christ, of course. For those out there listening right now, and there are many I know that haven't accepted Jesus and don't really know you, Lord, I pray that you'll use this opportunity to really speak to them in their heart and their mind, show them in a way that you're there with them, that they'll understand, and guide them in a way to ultimately lead them into you through Christ and to accept you, Lord, because we know that this is a time of separation that's happening, no matter how it all plays out. So thank you again so much for being our rock and our foundation. I love you, Lord, and in Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, guys, that felt good. The show felt good. We did a long show tonight, man. What, 3.5 hours almost? Awesome. We had a lot to get through, but I hope you enjoyed it, man. A lot of it's fun stuff. A lot of it's weird. A lot of it's intriguing. And, it's a nice little break from everything happening out there. So stay strong, stay cool, stay faithful. Don't lose your mind. I'm working on a lot of stuff every few days. You've noticed I'm putting something new up. I'm trying to stay even more productive than usual. I'm going to be doing some more shorter type videos, which I usually don't do, but these are some really crazy subjects I want to share with you. Still got my big videos in the works and more shows. I'll be doing a hangout for us in a couple days. I'll do it at 2 p.m. my time, Central Standard, for our friends overseas primarily, but everybody, of course, is welcome to jump in and let's talk about how you're doing through this global lockdown, right? The worldwide lockdown. Hey guys, thanks once again also to the moderators. Y'all are always so wonderful. And again, to the crowd out there, the people listening, thank you. And God bless you all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you real soon, okay? Thanks.